Well, that film clip of bushfires there is still the picture today, and it might be the picture over the next several weeks if we don't be careful, meaning that why set these fires? Please stop setting these bushfires, agricultural fires. I read recently where somebody said that 95% of these fires would be started by careless people. I keep wondering, what about the other 5? Are they more careless? Because none of these fires could be set by careful people. Today, the maximum temperature, 34.2 degrees Celsius, the second highest for the year, and this comes on the heels of what was happening 2 Saturdays ago, 35.1. Relative humidity, 42%. If you do set the fire, the atmospheric conditions are just about perfect to have this fire go raging. Let's not do that. We ask your forgiveness for not being able to produce much computer graphics today, but instead we have a satellite picture, and the satellite picture is all marked up. Sunny, dry, clear. This means plenty sunshine, it means plenty heat. Tomorrow again we can hit another 34 degrees Celsius. It was very hot today here. Most of the Lesser Antilles clear, but temperature is 1 or 2 degrees lower. To the east of us continues to be clear, and winds are moving through like this from the east and the east-southeast. That means they are bringing in drier air. It means that we're going to have very, very little change in the weather pattern in Trinidad and Tobago. To the west of us, there is very little hope of any cloudiness, significant cloudiness coming by. And to the north of us, there is some hope, however, for the islands of Puerto Rico, probably as far down as Guadeloupe, as this frontal system, which is right now quasi-stationary, making up its mind to begin to move. It could again enter the northeastern Caribbean, but that is not going to reach down here. We are looking for weather systems to come through the back door, to come through the front door. This is not going to happen, at least for tomorrow, and in the outlook period for day after tomorrow. Tonight, skies have already cleared. Right now, outside temperature is 27, and the humidity, although it looks like 75, during the nighttime, this happens, but during the daytime, it goes down, and the heat builds up. So tomorrow we are forecasting just the odd shower is going to be a sprinkle, a brisk sprinkle during the morning period, maybe in eastern districts. But during the daytime, hot, sunny conditions, quite a lot of sunshine. This has been the local weather forecast.
Hi, this is Bob Small here to remind you that good things come in small packages, or something like that. Take, for example, Napoleon. He was small. Oh.
Well, we're improvising this evening because we don't have those weather graphics. Instead, you see and recognize an old type satellite picture there. In the meantime, it has been very dry. The 19th day of the month is today. And we expect in any April, according to the airport records, just about 51 millimeters of rainfall. So far, we have only had 5.8. This is around 11%. So the deficit this month so far, if we keep running like this, is going to be between 80 to 90%. And for the year, 4 months until this date, is 35%. In the dry season, when you have a deficit, it really tells on the country and the environment. Anyhow, we take up the picture in North America, and something is happening. Just south of Bermuda, we have a low-pressure area. That frontal system comes onto the Caribbean. Between that low-pressure area and another very important low-pressure area in the middle northern plains area, there is a large area of high pressure. Rotation is like this. With this rotation, what we see, the northerly air approaching the east coast of Florida. Temperature across there in Miami today, 24 degrees because of the northerly component of the air. On the other coast, just 4 degrees higher, very, very warm. This air is rotating and going up north. And look at New York, 25 degrees Celsius. It was 26 in Washington. And these areas have been quite sunny, dominated by this area of high pressure. So in North America, the southeastern quadrant, pretty good conditions. This system, which we have been looking at here in the northern Mississippi Valley, possesses quite a few really, really terrific thunder showers. Those thunder showers could be tornadic. That means that there are some areas right now in Kentucky, for instance, just across the river, they are under tornado watch. Behind it, very cold air. Ahead of it, extremely warm air. This system is joined by another system coming from Canada. That system coming from Canada today gave rain in Toronto and also Montreal. Toronto improved a little bit, but then this low-pressure system and the frontal complex will be moving towards the northern parts of North America and the Great Lakes. There's some snow in the north of it, so this will affect Ontario maybe, but Toronto and Montreal will be expecting some rain over the next 24 hours. Whatever will happen to New York? Well, the high-pressure system is saying that it wouldn't move much. If it is not going to move much, this frontal system will not reach down to New York. If it does not reach down to New York, we can forecast tomorrow safely just partly cloudy skies, quite a bit of sunshine. Today, Toronto and Montreal, double digits, yes, but very cool still. Down south, as we indicated, the temperatures were high. If the high slips off over the Gulf Stream, we can have some more warming in this area here. So tomorrow, it could be again in the low 20s for New York. In the Caribbean area, this frontal system is creating a problem. Again, anytime they come down, they create problems for Haiti and Hispaniola. And what is happening right now is that showers are increasing in Hispaniola. There is a chance that some of these showers and thunder showers could be very intense, especially as they reach Puerto Rico. For the third time in 2 weeks, Puerto Rico could have a flood situation. This frontal system also gave just a little side swipe to Kingston today. We saw some showers in the vicinity. The tail is going to dissipate. The northern portions will continue to be reviving and move down, possibly to eventually sideswipe the northern leewards and the lesser Antilles. This is how it is in the large scale, but the local forecast, just to repeat, we have no sign of organized rainfall or cloudiness for Trinidad, Tobago, the southern windwards, and the nearby continent. It seems, therefore, as if we're going to have a clear night. There is a band of low-level winds, which are moderate in strength. This could create on the east coast of Trinidad during early morning just a little bit of precipitation. Not the wetting type, the brief type. And during the day, the sunshine is going to come down fiercely. I forecast the temperature tomorrow of about 34 degrees Celsius again. Today it was 34.2. So that sunshine there, little or no rainfall. We have to be careful outside. We got to do our bit to preserve the environment. This has been the Panorama Weathercast.
There are two ways to protect your home. Stop the weather or protect your walls with Penter Weather Shield.
People outside, there is a good brisk northeasterly wind, and temperature outside 27.2 degrees Celsius and relative humidity just about 76%. So conditions outside very, very stable. We take a look at our large-scale satellite picture, and on this we see a very, very striking bit of cloudiness. This is just immediately south of Bermuda. This represents here the location of a storm, not a tropical storm, a storm which is churning up the seas there. Wind strength rotating around that would be just around 35 knots, which would make it a minimal storm. Anyhow, this is associated with a frontal boundary which is stretching way down into Puerto Rico. So Puerto Rico today, San Juan reporting 2 or 3 hours of thunder showers, very heavy rain, the likelihood of some floods with that. And this same frontal boundary, although it is continuous, goes back to just south of Jamaica, which is located just around there. It is very active in this area. There are some showers and thunder showers. Very good chance at 1 or 2 because Jamaica lies on the northern fringe of it. 1 or 2 could appear in Jamaica itself. But most of the greater Antilles clearing. The southeastern Caribbean continues to enjoy rather stable conditions. Sunny weather is forecast for tomorrow. We look here just near and east of Lake Maracaibo, a torrential thunderstorm. That is forecast to have just about 8 or 10 inches of rain in it. It is sitting one place and will deposit there. Look at Venezuela, quite clear. In the western Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico, it looks very, very busy. What is happening here? We have a combination of jet streams. You could locate the jet streams moving from across Mexico towards the Bahamas. This here sliced the front, which is very, very active, but that front is still extremely active. So we change focus. We look at the other satellite picture with North America on it. And here we look at near Alabama and Mississippi, severe thunder showers. The rainfall that could be coming from some of these thunder showers would be up to 140, 160 millimeters. It's not gushing through really. It's taking its time. It's moving. Yesterday, this could have been tornadic. Now it is approaching the mountain chain. As it is doing that, it is forecast to produce quite a bit of precipitation there tonight. Down south in the peninsula, we see Miami located to the south of a bit of cloudiness, which is mainly upper-level cloudiness. The frontal boundary is not forecast to move down to this area way down south yet. In the northern portions, just near Toronto, what happened in Toronto today? It was rainy in the morning period. Then the sun came out. And right about now again, it is becoming very cloudy. In Montreal, it rained all day. The temperature was only 1 degree as a maximum. In Ottawa, it was very messy. They had some snow, they had a mix of ice, and there was a touch of rain. So what is going to happen in the next 24 hours? We take a look at the forecast chart. The system continues to move. It is a very complex system. A couple of low-pressure systems, the frontal boundary itself. Tomorrow, 24 hours from now, the boundary is forecast to be just in the northern portions of Florida, and chance of the thunder shower occurring on the Florida Peninsula, south of, let's say, Orlando. The coastal areas, some rain, the chance of thunder shower, and a band of rain right into Quebec. So Montreal is going to have some rain lingering afternoon tomorrow. Toronto is going to clear up just around noon. There's a chance of the shower in Boston, Philadelphia, Washington, and Baltimore, including, of course, New York. Across the Atlantic, some sunshine today in London, and the temperature got up to a maximum of 20 degrees Celsius. Tomorrow is going to be a bit cooler, just around 17, and why? There is a chance of some rain spreading south. A frontal system has gone through, and there's a trough hanging back. In the Eastern Caribbean, stable conditions persist. For the forecast for Trinidad and Tobago, a repeat. We don't see much change in the weather pattern, not in 24 hours, not in 36 hours, not even in 3 days. The odd shower is going to appear among a lot of sunshine, and in the early morning period, just in the eastern coast of Trinidad, there is the likelihood that we can see a couple of sprinkles. This will not last very long. This has been the Panorama Weathercast.
There are two ways to protect your home. Stop the weather or protect your wall.
Well, does anyone know what a rain dance costume looks like? If you do, please let me know, because it might mean that we'll have to organize a rain dance. Although I'm told by the man behind the camera there that today he experienced a delicious shower. He just wanted to park his car and get out and come into it. And yes, this was the order of the day. Here and there we had some sprinkles. I believe that there was a moderate shower here and there also. Coming down to the studio this afternoon, I saw one somewhere near Princestown, Moruga Way. Well, let's take a look at this picture and see what caused these showers. Nothing. They were purely local. They couldn't show up here on our satellite picture. But another very exciting thing. Just right here, yesterday, we had detected a break-off from the ITCZ cloud band migrating northwards. And we really are on the far northern fringe of it. And maybe the moisture out of this is what stimulated those showers here. Not cloudiness coming into us, but generally the presence of moisture nearby. And this is exciting. It's about the time it should be happening. This is the ITCZ down in Georgetown, Guyana today. Several thunder showers. Most of the island chain, little or nothing happening. They had the local, the daytime shower. And during the nighttime, everybody's going to be clear. So with this here, I'm still excited. And with this here, look what my 24-hour forecast is going to have to be. On the 24-hour forecast, we indicate, you notice we have removed the sunshine from this area. I'm just trying to say in the early morning period, yes, we are going to see the showers in the east, one or two of them, maybe again the sprinkly type, not moderate as we had today. But then during the day, we're going to see a little more cloudiness over most of the island. Not all of it will be rain producing. However, this is exciting again. Here and there, of course, we're going to be seeing the sunshine peeping through. It might be bright and sunny some days. Today we had a 32 degrees maximum, and tomorrow it could be 32.5, 33. If it does get up to 33.5, watch it, we could have the heavy moderate shower. But in the 3-day forecast, we are not describing this as anything big. We are saying that it might be a mixture of clouds and sunshine with the odd shower there. But Thursday, let's use the word fair. Friday, about fair. And Saturday, still. This is not really going to wet the ground much. This is not really going to break the season. And we might still need that costume for the rain dance. This has been the local weather forecast. It's a bit cloudy here and there outside, and I have no doubt that maybe still a shower is falling. And the accumulations on these showers today, 1 or 2 might have been moderate, I said, maybe a millimeter here, and one in Crown Point, Tobago, at least 2 millimeters. Taking a look at our large-scale weather satellite picture, we already did say that the Lesser Antilles, the easterly trades have increased, and this means that 1 or 2 showers showed up over the Lesser Antilles. That pattern is not going to change significantly. The odd shower is forecast tonight and tomorrow. Over the Greater Antilles, what is happening here, we still have the debris from that frontal system which was lined up right across the islands and is producing quite a few heavy thunder showers just immediately south of Jamaica. So Jamaica today, some showers in the vicinity. There's a lot of cloudiness here. Jamaica is located right in the middle of it, and they're still forecasting the shower or possibly also the thunder shower. Again, it's a mess in the Caribbean Sea, western portions, and in the Gulf of Mexico. Some cloudiness right now flowing over the Florida Peninsula is really upper-level cloud. It's not rain-producing, although it is rain-producing in the Gulf of Campeche. In this area, therefore, the shower or the thunder shower is likely over the next 24 hours. In the North America region, we pick up the rest of the weather, thin frontal band and some cloudiness out there. Now, this here is the focus in, and what we see is halfway from Tennessee towards the mid-Atlantic states. We have, and also on the fringe of the continent in the eastern seaboard, we have some cloudiness. This system here is an upper-level system, the low-pressure system, and the frontal system. So what is happening? We still have the cloudiness flagging. There is some rain down there. The front breaks up, and this is the cirrus cloud from Miami. Miami, the temperature is 28 degrees Celsius today, and it was pretty good. It's forecast to remain pretty good tonight also. But what has been happening in New York is a bit puzzling. Forecasters, they are very busy, changing their forecast every now and then. Tomorrow they're going to be having some problems too, because the showers are hanging around, and the front goes by. Most of it goes by into the ocean area, but a low-pressure cell hangs back. So New England states, right from Boston northwards, could experience some cold rain. Behind that, in the higher elevation, portions, some snow. Today, Toronto had some snow. Montreal had some snow. It was wet at times. The temperature in both cities, 4 degrees. It was high as 18 in New York. So the system is going by. It is dragging by. And as it does that, in about 24 to 36 hours, we're going to have clearing here. So after the rain tomorrow in Toronto, after the rain tomorrow in Montreal, we'll find some clearing during the afternoon. In the case of New York, it's going to stay cloudy most of the day, and so too for Philadelphia, Boston, Baltimore, Washington. Clearing is the next day. Across the Atlantic, what we saw in London today was pretty good weather. Tomorrow, there is going to be just a slight change. The sunshine, the mixture of sunshine and clear sky they had today could change. We're saying cloudy. The temperature maximum tomorrow is 18, exactly as it was today, but some rain is moving in from the north. Remember, yesterday the forecast was for a bit of rain. Well, the rain has slowed up. It is going to drift down as the frontal system comes by. It could reach London after the mid-afternoon period tomorrow. For Trinidad and Tobago, we are saying there is a slight change. Outside now, there is some cloudiness. Tomorrow, there is going to be less cloudiness than we had today, but there is still a chance that the showers will develop, mainly along the eastern districts of Trinidad during the morning, possibly also in Tobago. But the major thing will be the sun peeping through sometimes. We could hit a temperature of 32.5. If we do hit a higher temperature, there is a chance that one or two of these showers we're talking about here could very well be moderate showers, and this could wet the ground. Nothing significant, nothing big, but things are changing slowly, and we just love that. This has been the Panorama Weathercast.
There are two ways to protect your home. Stop the weather or protect your walls with...
And yes, this is the Earth Day weather report. And I'd like to ask a simple question. What did you do for Earth Day, to celebrate Earth Day? Did you think about it at all? Did you plant a tree? Did you talk to kids? If not, you still have time. We have some hours to go for this day, and we should make every day Earth Day. Look at this satellite picture. It shows that we have a very quiet Eastern Caribbean. There's a little bit of cloudiness in the central portions here. It didn't produce any showers yet, but I believe that as night comes on, that we can get some showers in the central portions. We're talking here about St. Vincent, maybe St. Lucia. Down near Trinidad, it was also a very quiet day. I'm disappointed that to the east of us, we're still not seeing anything, and we're supposed to be doing this. We're supposed to be having those April showers, nothing in store. Just near Puerto Rico, there is right now still a flood watch, because after this picture was taken, a couple of thunder showers shot up, and we might have seen a little bit of white here if we had waited just an hour or so. But in the Eastern Caribbean, nothing is happening. A ridge of high pressure still dominant and causing the air to be gently sinking, which is not what we want for cloudiness. To get cloudiness and precipitation, we need the air to be rising. So nothing encouraging that general lift yet. In Venezuela, however, yesterday we had a clear area right here. Now that area is covered with cloud, but not rain-producing cloud, a band of cirrus. This means no good news for us. My forecast for the next 24 hours indicates that we're going to be seeing a lot of sun. We detect just a light cloud of dust haze hanging around. The odd shower is in the forecast, and we put it just there. Doesn't mean it's going to occur there. Could be just about anywhere, and again favoring the early morning periods, the pre-dawn period. This morning we had a real heavy shower around in the eastern areas. It streaked across most of the island in the northern sections. And in the 3-day forecast, we are not very hopeful for any type of significant precipitation. By Saturday, there is a little chance we could see a slight change, a little bit of instability because of what we detect the wind pattern to be just east of us. It's not very promising. There is a little if about it. This has been the local weather forecast.
It's best. A bear is a carib.
Well, skies are nearly clear outside after a pretty nice day with stable weather conditions, and temperature maximum today in Trinidad reached 33.3. We had the odd shower around. Even Crown Point reported a shower in the vicinity, but generally it was nice. And on our satellite picture, we show you a not very different picture than what we just described. For most of the Eastern Caribbean, there is a little bit of cloudiness just near St. Vincent and St. Lucia, so this could produce the shower tonight. By tomorrow, that area of cloudiness will dissipate. So as it is good here, it is very bad in the central part of the Greater Antilles, and what we see most in the western portions is not really rain, is mainly upper level clouds streaking across. You can see a frontal system here being sliced by this, but there is a very nasty area of cloudiness which gives quite a bit of flood. We hear in Port Antonio area in Jamaica. Jamaica is located here, so the cloudiness is moving away towards the east. This means that these systems are still embedded in the westerly flow, not the easterly flow, which brings the rainy season in the region. And this here still does have some very torrential thunder showers. It's going to hang around for at least 48 hours yet, drifting very slowly today. Puerto Rico on a flood watch for the local thunder shower, and over the next 36 hours we might find it's migrating towards Puerto Rico, giving them some bad weather. This leaves the peninsula quite clear in North America, and we see quite a bit of clearing in the southern states. And when we take a look at the focus satellite picture, this clearing really is an area of high pressure. The frontal system has gone by. Miami, for instance, this morning showed some cloudiness, but by mid-morning it had cleared up, and during the day it was sunny. The temperature did not get up very high, however, only 27 degrees Celsius. That is because the high pressure situated here is driving some northerly winds across that. And eventually we have the system in the north, the low pressure, moving away. So New York today, just in a dry slot here, had some cloudiness. Temperatures reached 13 degrees Celsius. It was a very different picture further north near Montreal. There was quite a bit of rain during the day, some snow in Ottawa. Toronto had cleared up. It was very windy up here. We expect Toronto to stay pretty good, but Montreal is going to have some precipitation. Let us take a look at the 24-hour forecast. 24 hours from now, this system is still going to hang around in the extreme northeast near Maine, but the high-pressure system is pushing down. It's going to be a bit cool. Montreal will continue raining, the chance of snow in the morning period, and all this will taper off during the later part of the day. But Toronto is going to be good. New York is going to be good. Temperatures well in single digits. Down south, the high-pressure cell will continue to dominate, and conditions will be nice for at least 48 hours. The next weather system is some distance away. Across the Atlantic, London had, well, a nasty day. It was showery during the afternoon, quite cloudy during the morning. Temperature only 14 as a maximum. Very mild. Tomorrow, what is expected to happen? The winds will be from the south, and this will advect just a little bit of higher temperatures, maximum of 17, but there is going to be rainfall. The front is very slow moving, so it's not going to be pretty there. For Trinidad and Tobago, the stable pattern continues, and we can only forecast the chance of the odd shower. Plenty sunshine after a nice quiet night tonight. This has been the Panorama Weathercast.
There are two ways to protect your home. Stop the weather or protect your walls with Penter Weather Shield. Since 1965.
By ICI Technology, the hard-wearing gloss for all wood and metal surfaces. From Penter.
I read this somewhere. How does a meteorologist like his eggs? And they say sunny side up. You know, recently some forecasts have really been coming sunny side up. These days I regret, however, when it comes like that, because the sun, the low humidity, the high temperatures, to me today, really the worst. In the hills just north of St. Joseph and Charflair, fires raging between 11 and 1,500 feet up. The blaze is still touching the sky right about now. And didn't we celebrate Earth Day yesterday? Look at the satellite picture. We don't have much hope. We have a lot of cloud, quite a bit of cloud. Look at near Trinidad. We had nothing yesterday. Most of the Lesser Antilles, as if a change is coming. But no, that change is not coming. Most of this cloud we see here due to an upper level wind flow which is curving the wrong way to bring any significant cloudiness. We call it an anticyclonic upper level wind flow. It brings in the cirrus cloud. It doesn't bring anything more. But look down in Venezuela on the border with Colombia. Some thunder showers are firing up there to the great heating. This is the kind of thing we're waiting on to migrate towards us. It's not happening yet. Just near the Guyanas, showing up 1 or 2 showers, but not coming into us. To the east of us, where it could come from, very, very clear. A very interesting system is starting to develop just about 1,500 kilometers to the east of the island. We're watching that one carefully. It could bring maybe a couple showers by Sunday, maybe could. But other than that, the Lesser Antilles expecting just the odd isolated local shower, and for Trinidad and Tobago over the next 24 hours. I had this same map yesterday. We're going to be expecting quite a lot of sunshine. We hardly have dust haze around now. Sunshine and the chance of the odd shower developing. By Sunday, this might be something else. In my 3-day forecast, however, I'm not saying it is going to occur on Sunday. I'm just indicating to you now that whereas we have the chance of the shower here on Saturday, by Sunday the chance increases, but by Monday it will begin to diminish. So there is very little hope. And my forecast is going to come sunny side up, and I hate that. This has been the local Weathercast.
There is nothing best. A bear is a Carib.
Atmospheric conditions are quite stable outside. We have little or no organized cloudiness, and I feel that we don't have that shower which we had last night around now hanging around. Today was pretty good, so we turn our attention to our large-scale satellite picture. And on that, well, if I back off here, we see quite a lot of mess over most of the Caribbean. We'll try to pick some sense out of this. In the eastern Caribbean, most of that cloudiness there is really dense cloud, upper-level cloud, but not all of it is rain-producing. We know Barbados had a shower. Most of the Lesser Antilles would have had an odd shower during the daytime. It's very likely that pattern of the odd shower will continue across Venezuela. A lot of thunder shower activity firing up there, so too across in Colombia, and all this is very promising for us eventually, not over the next 2 or 3 days. However, in the central Caribbean, this very white area here represents torrential thunder showers. It was just around there yesterday, having left Jamaica. It's going to hang around here. It is a low-level trough, and it's moving slowly towards the east. As that happens, most of this area is going to be engaged over the next 26 hours at least with showers and thunder showers. This is right into Puerto Rico. Finally, eventually, I believe by Sunday afternoon, into the Virgin Islands. And further west, we see from the Yucatan back into Cuba quite a bit of cloudiness. Not all of this is rain, but right around here, there is an area of showers and thunder showers. It's stationary right now. Will hardly affect Jamaica tomorrow. The peninsula of Florida is quite clear, and most of the southeastern flanks of the United States, clear. We focus in a little bit on this, and we look at this clear area here. The high-pressure system last night dominating, bringing some cold air from the north. Tallahassee was just 3 degrees. Alabama itself was quite cold. There were some locations with 0 degrees. Right up in the area right near Cape Hatteras, the maximum last night was only 3 degrees also. Today, it warmed up nicely. It went in Miami to 27, and in Tallahassee reached 19. So it's warming up. Tomorrow we'll see some sunshine in that area too, because most of this area here is a high-pressure cell. Today, Toronto was quite breezy. The temperature reached up to 14. You can see just on the edge of Montreal, there is a cloudiness. So they had spotty rain most of the day. The temperature only 6, but it was windy, and so that felt like 0 at times. New York, some on and off rain also, some cloudiness, and the maximum was only 10. Finally, this very slow system, which has some lead in its pants, maybe is eventually going to move off. As we take a look at our 24-hour forecast, we see very little of that system hanging around in the edge there, but we see a new system, which is in the central portions right now, beginning to move by. Some right near the Appalachian Mountains, the moisture from the Gulf will produce the odd thunder shower. This is not going to affect the coast just yet. The warm frontal system will create some rain, mainly in the mountain region. And so New York could get away for most of the day tomorrow, some cloudiness during the afternoon period. So too is the forecast for Toronto. There is a chance of the rain showing up later in the day. Montreal will be out of it. Tomorrow, winds are forecast to be very gusty in most of that area. This system will become full-fledged and affect that area later during the weekend. Across the Atlantic, it was a dull day. It was drizzly at times in London, and most of the UK is forecast over the next 24 hours to show up with some rain. The maximum in London today was 14. Tomorrow, we expect a 17. The forecast for Trinidad and Tobago, it's a big weekend coming up, but we have no big change in mind. It looks as if for the next 24 hours, the odd shower is the most we can promise. Most of the day, we expect some sunshine over most of the geography of Trinidad and Tobago. By Sunday, a chance of a very slight change. We detect a small little system developing. It could very well bring in some moisture, maybe the odd shower by Sunday. Other than that, tomorrow, the forecast maximum temperature 34 degrees Celsius. This has been the Panorama Weathercast.
There are 2 ways to protect your home. Stop the weather.
Engage in any playtime supervision.
The hard-wearing gloss for all wood and metal surfaces. From Weather.
Hi, Bob Small here to tell you a great idea for school. You know, where you work hard and play hard. Here it is, Smalter with B vitamins. B is for brain activity. B is for ball games.
Well, certainly over the past 48 hours, we have seen just a slight increase in the amount of showers we've been having. Now, not a big increase. The most exciting thing, however, happens to be the size of those clouds. They're getting bigger, they're getting fatter. Certainly, again, they're imbibing a lot more water vapor, which has increased. The last week of April, we expect this pattern. I am prepared to say that maybe we are tippy-toeing right now into that transition period. During the next month, we expect quite a lot more rainfall. Now, over the past 3 days, we have doubled the rainfall for this month. It sounds big, but really, we had just around 7 millimeters, and today it stands at 14 millimeters. Remember, we're going up near 50. Look at our satellite picture for the Eastern Caribbean area. it does show a slight difference. We have a little more dirt right here, some low cloud, the white clouds, of course, on the continent. These represent the very heavy showers, and again in the Atlantic region. But over the Lesser Antilles, the exciting thing is the presence of some clouds. Also, some people have already started looking for tropical waves coming by. It might be a bit too early for that. So again, moisture has increased, the clouds are getting fatter, and let's see what my forecast for the next 24 hours is going to be. On the Trinidad and Tobago map, we're indicating now that we're going to be seeing just a bit more shower activity. One somewhere down south, maybe one in the north across Tobago. These are not the exact location, and the sun is going to be peaking. So they are not very brisk showers. The wind systems have weakened just a little bit, and today we located a very heavy showers between Point Jack and Claxton Bay. During the daytime, there are several showers in the east also. With no very strong wind, we can find these clouds coming up after the maximum daytime heating. The maximum temperature today was only 31 degrees Celsius because we had that little cloud hanging around. And in my 3-day forecast, I'm going to call tomorrow mixed. It's too good to have this continue. I believe we're going to be disappointed if we're still going to have a lot of showers again on Wednesday. So the chances of returning to normal, stable conditions on Wednesday very good, and continuing in Thursday. We expect by Friday an upper level system is going to come by, and this could cause again another increase in shower activity. This has been the local weather forecast.
Hi, Bob Small here to tell you a great idea for school. You know, where you work hard and play hard. Here it is, Malta with B vitamins.
I said earlier, we started seeing a few showers over the past 48 hours, and these will really qualify for April showers. What we had before were merely hiccups, but it seems as if these refreshing showers that we expect during April are coming. Now, this doesn't mean the rainy season. Let's take it up from the rest of the region. When we take a look at our large-scale satellite picture, we see some cloudiness over the Leeward Islands. And this is very important. That cloudiness stretches way back into the western Caribbean Sea, pointing towards Nicaragua. That here represents a westerly flow aloft, stimulating some showers low down. And this is important because way back, as I back off here, we pick up a wind flow that is curving by. And this is what we are waiting for, this curving wind to come by, create an upper level trough, as we call it, but really a disturbance in the upper levels, which could stimulate some precipitation in our region. It is not really happening yet with the full vengeance as it could happen. This leaves the southern windward area with Trinidad reasonably clear. Down south in the Guyanas, we have some cloudiness there. The chance of the shower is likely. Colombia is very wet. Venezuela is getting wet as the cloudiness begins to move towards our region. So the Lesser Antilles, the odds are mainly in the northern portion of the leeward. The Greater Antilles right now flirting with a very large area of thunder showers which extend from just north of Bermuda down towards the central portions of the Greater Antilles. Most of it is over the maritime area, yet it's going to stimulate some precipitation in the region. This satellite picture here shows us that very little is happening over the major midsection of the North American continent. A very thin, tenuous, almost weak and emaciated frontal system. Right now producing thunder showers on the Florida Peninsula. The northern portion just brushing the seacoast. And from right in Ohio back to Pennsylvania into the New England states, some rain. Over the next 24 hours, we take this up in the forecast for the next 24 hours, and we see that frontal system moves off over the ocean areas. The high-pressure system bringing some cool air will make it mostly pleasant in the Florida Peninsula, especially after the showers and thunder showers are forecast to pass through tonight. Tomorrow, there's a very small chance of the thunder shower lingering in Miami. In the areas to the north, Toronto, Montreal, and even New York, it's really very pleasant. I mean, it's extremely pleasant. Now here is the forecast for London, 18 degrees Celsius tomorrow, with a chance of some rain. Today there was some cloudiness. There was some sun most of the northern UK, but in London itself, some cloudiness. This cloudiness here is going to linger down south tomorrow with a chance of the rain. Around mid-morning to noontime, there's a chance of a let-up. It's going to be cloudy for the rest of the day. But in other areas, the sun is going to peak. For Trinidad and Tobago, we look at this forecast again. We did indicate in the beginning that there is a slight change we are seeing. It's very likely that we are into the transition period. I'm not ready to announce this, but for Trinidad and Tobago, for the next 24 hours, we can pick up the odd shower here and there. There is going to be the sunny spell in between. The shower is going to start showing up, mainly during the daytime as the heat begins to build up. It's not going to accumulate a lot. This has been the Panorama Weathercast.
Small here to tell you a great idea for school.
Well, what we saw today was a run-of-the-mill April day, a fair day in April. We had some early morning sprinkles, but then the sun came out, temperatures shot up to 33.5, and then during the afternoon we saw some cloudiness here and there, high cloud, not rain producing. By the way, 33.5 for April. For 27 days so far, on 19 days have we had temperatures at 33 or higher. 2 days it was much higher, 34 on one day and 35.1 the record for this month on another day. Anyhow, this is, if you're thinking in Fahrenheit degrees, 92 degrees Fahrenheit. This is how hot it has been, and it could get hotter. Let us take a look at our satellite picture for the Eastern Caribbean and nearby region, and we see some cloudiness. This is the cloudiness actually that came in later in the day. This cloudiness here, as I said, is not rain producing, is mainly high cloud. However, some of it does have medium cloud. This is the cloud that looks like a mackerel sky sometimes. Around maybe 3 kilometers up in the sky. We have no threat from the mainland other than that little bit of cloud which is coming from the south. From the east, it's still very dry. It's extremely dry, and if these winds come by tomorrow, some of this cloud could melt off. In the northern portions, we have a band of cirrus cloud again, but this is coming from Colombia, where they had tremendous rainfall over the past several days. Quite a few people dying due to flooding and mudslides and whatnot. So that here is the moisture moving from that region. Lesser Antilles, pretty good. No organized rainfall. My forecast for the next 24 hours, it very well has to be that we will have to play for the odd shower occurring during the daytime. An upper level system is beginning to show itself. It can begin to show itself later tomorrow into the following day. So I'm not playing for a lot of precipitation. In fact, you see quite a lot of sunshine around here. It's going to be not a mixed day. It's going to be a reasonably fair day. My 3-day forecast suggests that we could see that shower tomorrow. If the system does intensify by the following day, we can see some showers. It shouldn't last very long. By the 3rd day, it should be pretty good, fair again. And again, that would be a very typical pattern for this time of the year. This has been the local weather forecast.
Hi, Bob Small here to tell you a great idea for school. You know, where you work hard and play hard. Here it is, Smalter with B vitamins.
Well, it is pretty stable outside, so we take our attention right now to our satellite picture for the large-scale area. I'm on the satellite picture for the large-scale area. We see a couple quick systems in the Lesser Antilles. This is cirrus, so little or no organized cloudiness. It means that we have little or no organized precipitation. In the Greater Antilles area, there is some cloudiness belonging to this large-scale system here. It's mostly over the maritime area, but some thunder showers are forecast for Hispaniola and Puerto Rico over the next 24 hours. The Western Caribbean, pretty good. Over most of the United States, let us go closer into this picture. As we focus into this picture, we see the high-pressure area. Well, we lost it for a little while. It comes back. Most of this area is clear, is sunny. Most of the metropolitan areas with temperatures 9 and 9 in Toronto and Montreal, 14 in New York, and as high as 31 in Miami. Conditions over most of this area tomorrow. Lovely across the Atlantic. London itself had lovely sunny conditions, and it was very warm this afternoon. When you say very warm, oh, well, we saw the forecast here. It's coming on late. We should go to London now. And across the Atlantic, I said London was pretty good. Temperature today, 20 degrees Celsius. And tomorrow, we're going to be forecasting some sunshine with a temperature a little lower because the winds are from the north. For the Eastern Caribbean and Trinidad and Tobago, conditions are lovely, stable. We're not seeing anything very impressive over the next 24 hours. For Trinidad, a couple showers here and there, again, is going to be typical, probably also the type that we expect in the month of April. But in between, we're going to be having a lot of sunshine. Tobago, look out for the shower. The easterly winds have weakened just a little bit, and as they have weakened, the shower could reside just a little longer. Accumulations could be just about a half millimeter to about 1 millimeter. This has been the Panorama Weathercast.
There are 2 ways to protect your home. Stop the weather or protect your walls with Penter Weather Shield.
Thunder shower in Paramaribo, for instance, and that is a cloud band which we expect to migrate northwards eventually, maybe within a month, and give us some showers. The ITCZ band is not coming yet, so this cloudiness here is not producing rain, and most of the lesser Antilles will continue with just the odd daytime tropical type shower showing up. We have another very significant system just near Puerto Rico and moving towards Bermuda. That system is nearly stationary. It's an old frontal trough, and it is creating some thunder showers from the Mona Passage right into Puerto Rico. It's not expected to change for at least the next 36 hours. This leaves the western Caribbean under partly cloudy skies. We see some showers just to the east of Havana and some showers to the south of Haiti. They could dissipate as the high pressure builds into this general area. Now that means little or no shower activity. Across the Florida Peninsula, we see a band of cloud. There is some gray patch in it, a little bit of white. And what is happening here, this is the upper level pattern flowing across here, stimulating very few showers down below. Near Sarasota, there was a thunderstorm today. This was a surprise. Let us focus in a little more closely into North America and take a look at what has been happening in the eastern flanks of the United States. Almost clear. the high-pressure system is quite dominant. In fact, that today caused some northerly flow down at Miami, and the temperature yesterday was 31.2. Today, only 26 degrees Celsius. Last night, it began plunged to the mid-morning period, then rose again. We expect tonight the minimum temperature here of about 19, tomorrow about 27, but no significant showers in the forecast. Look at the forecast. The high-pressure system holds by, and the frontal system, a very complex pattern. However, not threatening the eastern areas for at least the next 36 hours. Quite a few showers from Texas right back to the Great Lakes system, and rain, and look, a touch of snow in the northern portion. So we're not going to be concerned with that. For at least maybe by Friday, there's a chance that this could begin to affect the East Coast. Toronto, in the meantime, today partly cloudy, and they had a couple showers. Across the Atlantic, it was sunny. In London, it's going to continue sunny. Forecast for 19 as the maximum. Today, it was lower than that. The Trinidad and Tobago forecast, we have very little showers in sight. In fact, this is what I'm seeing here in this map. The odd shower, maybe in eastern districts during the early morning, and during the daytime, quite a bit of sunshine. This has been the Panorama Weathercast.
There are two ways to protect your home. Stop the weather or protect.
The day started off hot and sunny, but by mid-morning, you found that a lot of clouds developed along the west coast and along the northern range. And in Sogonas, one or two heavy showers and some light sprinkles otherwise. Over us, though, the winds at in the low levels that we talked about yesterday had beaten tremendously, and so too the surface winds. Our maximum temperature at Piarco reached 3.5 degrees Celsius. Yesterday, 3.7. It could have been hotter if we didn't have those clouds. And we look at tonight, and outside at the moment, a lot of medium and upper level clouds, non-rain producing. And as we don't have those strong low-level winds, we can look now at our local forecast. And tonight, we don't expect any precipitation as those winds have weakened. Tomorrow morning, hot and sunny as the day starts off, and we expect the clouds to build up towards midday, west coast and along the northern range. Some sun will peep out at times to give that heating, and during the afternoon, we expect to get those showers. And with that, we conclude our local forecast.
Carib is truly beer at its best. A beer is a Carib.
Well, we're having just a little bit of a problem with our computer, and we wouldn't have a lot of graphics to present tonight, but behind me we really do have a lovely large-scale weather satellite picture, and we will have to work with that. By the way, today along the west coast of Trinidad in the noon-afternoon period, there were several showers, and some of them moderate occasionally. We believe it could have been heavy, and these showers really were caused by the hot land during the day, very little ventilation, so it means that the heat built up and took some air aloft with the moisture condensing. This is the pattern today, but there is still another very large-scale pattern, and my hopes begin to rise as we take a look at this satellite picture in our region. Just located here is Trinidad, and all this cloudiness, mostly cloudiness in the upper levels of the atmosphere, but moving towards the eastern Caribbean. So right now, the eastern Caribbean shrouded in cloud. Now, some of that cloud could stimulate instability across the region, meaning one or two showers will pop up here and there. There's quite a lot of white over Venezuela. This is what we call convection. The heat is generating all the moisture, lifting up and creating thunder showers, and the blow-off coming towards us. We have seen this very frequently. It is not a new area for us, but we are surprised that it's happening this year with such great frequency. This is the Amazon plume moving towards us. What does it mean for the Lesser Antilles, for instance? Over the next 24 hours, most of the Lesser Antilles will be under some sort of cloudiness, high and medium cloud. But here and there during the daytime, we expect the shower to develop. There's also the possibility of a thunder shower. And Ashford was telling me, cricket is in the air. I say, so what? You know the joke about the three stumps? The Greater Antilles, look at it. Very much improved. We had all that cloudiness, remember, lurking just near Puerto Rico yesterday. This is the weather system creating that. You can locate now, in fact, a weak storm developing there. It is not a tropical storm. Clearing generally, and that means really good weather. The Greater Antilles, not much is happening. The eastern seaboard, not much is happening. Toronto and Montreal, as this front comes on, we expect that area could experience some rain over the next 24 hours. And New York could come down to that rain in 36 hours. That front is going to be into the seaboard and off the seaboard by Sunday. London, maximum 20 today, and pretty good for Trinidad and Tobago. Well, looking back at this picture, it seems as if we're going to be variably cloudy over the next 24 hours on the west coast areas, a shower or two. This has been the International Weathercast.
There are two ways to protect your home.
Well, it's Monday, the 10th day of May, and let's see where we stand. Meaning rain-wise, is the rainy season coming or not? Well, good news is that for the month so far, the 10 days, we have had more rain than we had in all of April. That's the good news. The bad news is that when we take a look at our satellite picture for the Caribbean area, we hardly see weather systems coming in from the east. And only when that happens, when we get these weather systems coming in from the east, the rainy season type weather system, do we define the rainy season. So what do we have? A very busy chart, a lot of cloudiness. Most of this cloudiness, however, coming from the west. That's not going to bring the rainy season. Most of the cloudiness to the north of the Lesser Antilles, that would have originated in a cold weather system that migrated down. Right now, there is a very active cyclone just near Bermuda. We're not interested in that. This is going to produce some cloudiness in the region north of the Windward Islands. All this cloudiness here is mainly upper-level cloud due to jet streams in the area, the blow-off of convection from the continent. This is not really going to produce rainfall here. We want this cloudiness to migrate up to us. This is not going to happen, not for some weeks yet. And nothing is happening here coming into us. So this here is nuisance value. One important little thing. Cloudiness from across Venezuela. See how dense it is here? This has been migrating closer and closer to us. So whereas it might not bring the rainy season, a good chance that we could see a couple showers. The wind chill is weak. My forecast for the next 24 hours will indicate that in western areas, well, there's far too many showers here. It might not bring out the best picture, but observe we had the cloudiness of the showers here, some sunshine, and the chance of the showers across here. This means that tomorrow, with a little instability, with the cloudiness migrating from across the west, there's a good chance you can see a couple moderate showers in the west coastal areas and just a sprinkle elsewhere. But in between, stable Saharan aerosol. Over the 3-day period, the 3-day forecast, we'll use the word fair. Tomorrow is not a lot of shower activity. All of the pictures seem busy. Fair and fair. By Thursday, we expect mixed conditions, a slight change in the weather pattern. As I said, it was fair today, but it was hot, 34.4 degrees Celsius. This has been the local weather forecast.
Carib is truly beer at its best. A bear is a Carib.
Well, the relative humidity outside right now, 80%. And the temperature, get this, just about 27.2 degrees Celsius. Why is it so hot? Well, it was much hotter earlier today, 34.4 degrees Celsius. And that is the second time this month that we have hit that temperature. Very hot. The first day of the month, and then today. You know, things are going to get hotter. Let us see, however, how hot it is getting on our large-scale map. We see quite a bit of cloudiness in the area south of the Greater Antilles into the continent. And this area here is very busy, as I said earlier, but most of this here is just scattered shower activity with a lot of upper-level cloud. And just to the east and northeast of the Lesser Antilles, there is cloudiness again belonging to a storm which is located just to the east of Bermuda. It's a cold storm, not a tropical storm. Anyhow, that is feeding back into the islands, and they expect a couple showers over the next 24 hours. It's going to be tapering off. Down in the Guyanas, there were thunder showers today, and the isolated thunder showers forecast for tomorrow. It's a very good chance that Maiquetía Airport and Caracas could experience some rain and a thunder shower. Jamaica is to the north of this. They have been seeing a lot of high-level cloud, the chance of the shower there. But Cuba, pretty good weather. And the east coast of North America, let's change focus and see the other satellite picture for this region. And here it is, a beautiful one. Very simple. The Rockies area and the west coast, pretty clear. And the east coast, almost completely clear. Some cloudiness here, mainly upper-level cloudiness with the jet stream. This brings sunny conditions for most of the areas, especially the areas we interested in New York, Toronto, Montreal, and Miami. Temperatures today, 27 in Miami is the maximum. It was as high as 21 in New York and in the upper teens in Toronto and Montreal. Well, we see a weather system in the central part of the North American continent. The Mississippi River runs right here. This has tornadoes in it, very severe thunderstorms, and some of those will produce rainfall up to 150 millimeters. But the thing about this, it has taken the Gulf there, it is interacting, it is creating the weather system, but the weather system is not forecast to move over the next 24 hours. Let us take a look at that forecast for the next 24 hours. You see what has happened? The thunder showers dissipating ahead, some remaining just to the west of the position, and the frontal system way behind. So we will have the phenomenon of systems developing here, moving by, dissipating, and not going towards the east coast. Why is this happening? Great big high pressure system here, stable conditions, and nice weather. I love the word nice here. It's quite warm. Tomorrow we should see temperatures just a couple of degrees higher than they were today. Sunny down in Florida. No chance of precipitation. Across the Atlantic, however, there is a chance of precipitation in the UK. Temperatures today, 21 in London, will look like 17 tomorrow. And look at that, we have some showers. In some places, the showers will be just 10 to 20%, but the cloudiness is going to increase. And another feature of the weather tomorrow will be some very strong winds, gusting up to 50 kilometers per hour sometimes. A repeat of the Trinidad and Tobago forecast for the next 24 hours. If you look at this map here, you might think that we have a rainy day in store for you. No, there is a chance of the shower with some sunshine in the central and eastern portion. But as the day gets on, we expect a moderate shower to develop due to the heating and the weakening of the wind, especially along west coastal areas. Tobago could be completely out of it over the next 24 hours. Right now, there is a pall of Sahara dust around. Visibility is just around 6 or 7 kilometers. Tomorrow, we expect the Sahara dust to continue to shroud the horizon. This has been the weather report.
There are two. Meteorologist says that high temperatures will continue until the rainy season begins.
Trinidad and Tobago has been experiencing very high temperatures for the past week. This is what the Churchill Roosevelt Highway looked like this morning.
The overhead sun, this is the sun, it's apparent motion moving north of the equator, will be overhead Trinidad, and we'd have, number one, longer hours of sunshine due to the longer day, and number two, more direct rays of the sun overhead Trinidad, so temperatures increase.
Mr. Mirage explained that people could be feeling temperatures as high as 40 degrees in direct sunlight, but the highest recorded at the Met Office last month was 35.3 degrees Celsius.
This is because the temperature we record here is the temperature in the shade. That means we have our thermometer hidden in a special instrument, which we call a Stevenson screen.
Mr. Mirage says just before the rainy season, we will have a series of very hot days with temperatures 34 degrees and above. Crystal Chongling, TV6 News.
A team of athletes is back home with news as bright as gold. Renee Cummings has that and more on the Sports Report next on the TV6 News.
For wood and metal services from Weather.
Well, weather conditions today had most of the features of the forecast that we made last night, meaning it was hot. How hot? Well, as high as 34.6 degrees Celsius. By 8 o'clock this morning, it was already 29. By 12:30, 34.6. And you know what happened? It could have been the hottest day on our record, but just around that time, we had some cirrus cloudiness coming over and blocking out the direct radiation from the sun. So we got away there. The Sahara dust, that was also in the forecast. 1 or 2 showers along the western coastal areas. That happened. The showers in the central portion, but the chance that you mentioned, that did not happen. Let us take a look at our satellite picture and see where that cirrus cloud came from. This is exciting too, because for the first time we are having the movement of clouds from the south to the north. And remember, this is the IPCZ cloud band here, and this is what we expect to migrate. Also, I'm looking at some cloudiness to the east of us. That's very interesting. Some people in Miami say that's a tropical wave. I don't buy that. If it's a tropical wave, we're in for a rainy day tomorrow, and I don't want to forecast a rainy day. Another area of important cloudiness just south of the Greater Antilles, north of Curacao, and that's interesting. A lot of thunder showers there. This big blob is tending to be stationary with eventually moving towards the island chain. It will, however, dissipate within 36 hours. That's my bet because the system is weakening already. If this does come in, the Lesser Antilles could experience some precipitation. Today they did. This area of cloudiness here represents the precipitation. So we are between clouds from the south, clouds from the west, a little bit of cloud from the east. What then is my forecast? I am very optimistic that tomorrow again, if you're looking for sunshine, you're going to find quite a bit of sunshine. The Sahara dust is still around. In the morning period, eastern areas can experience a shower just around the eastern district, not penetrating far in. The daytime, we expect temperatures to be just around 34 as the maximum, and this could locate isolated showers along the west coastal areas. I don't see shower activity for Tobago. Again, the sun is going to peek through this canopy of cloud which we have right now outside. And in the 3-day forecast, well, tomorrow we are saying there is going to be a mixture of clouds and sunshine with that odd shower. And this will continue into Thursday. By Friday, I'm looking for another fair day with a little more sunshine. This has been the local weather forecast.
There is nothing like the taste of Carib beer. Brewed to perfection. Carib is truly beer at its best. A beer is a Carib.
The canopy of cirrus, that is the high cloud outside, is beginning to thin out, and here and there stars are becoming visible, the brighter ones, that is. Anyhow, right now outside the temperature is 27 degrees Celsius. This is a drop, in fact, from the maximum we had today of 34.6, and we have been giving these temperatures in degrees Celsius. Now, it doesn't sound so impressive when we say degrees Celsius, 34.6. The real figure in degrees Fahrenheit, if you care, 94.3 today. Yesterday also it was just slightly below that at 94.1. Let us take a look at our first satellite picture. And in the Caribbean area, we see a couple of major cloud systems. Number one, this here represents a jet stream, a band of wind blowing aloft and creating cloudiness just around here, looking like feathers, not rain producing. This blob of cloudiness to the south of the Greater Antilles in the Caribbean Sea is interesting to us. It is what the meteorologists call a mesoscale convective complex. I'm just showing off. Actually, it is an area of thunder showers. It is going to begin to weaken in maybe a day and a half. However, it is drifting towards the Lesser Antilles. We don't expect thunder showers from this to visit the Lesser Antilles. They have some showers due to an old frontal band dissipating right now. Across the continent, there is quite a lot of cloudiness, isolated thunder showers there, some showers forecast to the Guyanas. But the Greater Antilles from, let's say, north of Jamaica into Cuba, pretty good weather, the Bahamas clear, and Florida itself, lovely sunny conditions. We change focus to the next satellite picture for North America. And on this, we see the east coast was really clear today, quite sunny. And get this, the temperature maximum in Miami, 29 degrees Celsius, and the maximum in New York, 31 degrees Celsius. The maximum in Toronto and Montreal, 25 and 26. So it was quite hot in this region here, the high pressure system, very little wind blowing, so the hot air is staying around. And this hot air is forecast to stimulate just an isolated thunder shower. By the way, this cloud complex we see here, beautiful spiral, well, the spiral really is like that, into a low pressure system which is in the upper levels. It's drifting, dissipating as it's drifting. Still some cloudiness out here, the chance of severe thunder showers, but this one is going to hang around for a long while yet. So today, we had some cloudiness increasing in the area of Toronto. A cold front is slipping by. Let us look at the forecast for tomorrow. And that forecast for tomorrow, a high pressure cell building, pushing that cold front by. The chance that Toronto can have a couple of showers tonight, even in the morning tomorrow. The possibility that Boston, Philadelphia, Washington could have a shower, possibly a thunder shower near Washington itself. And the low pressure system, the upper level pattern is hanging back. The cloudiness remaining with some showers there, not threatening the coast south of Cape Hatteras. Maybe some cloudiness in the northern portion, but Toronto and Montreal, pretty good. Again, those temperatures today were hot. Tomorrow, Toronto and Montreal will be just about 2 or 3 degrees cooler, and down south, the temperatures are building. It was also very hot in London. We were surprised. 21 was the forecast. It really reached to 25 degrees Celsius. Some showers were forecast. That is why the temperature was forecast to be only 21. However, no showers came by, and tomorrow, just a bit of cloudiness and a maximum temperature of only 18 degrees Celsius. The winds will be from the north. A repeat of the Trinidad and Tobago forecast. Outside it's quite cloudy. We expect that cloudiness to begin to dissipate. Tomorrow we're going to have dull periods. The sun will peep occasionally in the morning period. A chance of a shower along east coast areas. They're in the later part of the day along the west coast areas. Tobago should be generally out of it. We call that a mixed day with cloud, sunshine, and the possibility of the shower. This has been the Weathercast. Because it was not produced by a rainy season weather feature, a weather system typical of the rainy season. We'll keep saying so, but you know something? It's just around the corner. Maybe another heat wave, and then we'll have our foot right into the start of the rainy season. I think maybe in about 8 to 10 days this can happen. In the meantime, why not? May is a rainy month, up to 118 millimeters of rainfall. But look at today. Let us take a look at the satellite picture and see why we had this rain. By the way, the system that affected us today will be defined as a shear line. I wouldn't go into the details of that. But this cloudiness here was not there yesterday, and that is remarkable. I believe, I'll say this with a little bit of shade, really. The forecast was for fair with the isolated shower, I believe. I didn't make it, but I know about it. This cloudiness was not there. It was stimulated during the nighttime, and from 3:30 to just around a little while back, it was raining out. The IPCZ still is located down here, so it is not one of those. There is a big break between this and the central portions of the Lesser Antilles, where little or nothing is happening. It's very sunny there. And then some cloudiness in the leeward. The old frontal boundary is still creating some cloudiness, and it is having 1 or 2 showers there. Over the continent, quite a bit of convective activity. By now, we know that means thunder showers. Across the Guyanas, quite a few thunder showers. For the next 24 hours, well, the shear line is weakening, and my forecast for the next 24 hours suggests that we're going to have lingering shower activity into tonight and into tomorrow. Tonight, the nocturnal shower activity could be accompanied by some gusty winds, gusts reaching probably now and then up to 40 or 50 kilometers per hour. And tomorrow, here and there, particularly in the morning period, eastern districts and the rest of the day, here and there, including Tobago, Crown Point today did experience also a thunder shower. And in the 3-day period, the 3-day forecast, we are calling tomorrow's weather mixed because we're going to see some sunshine and then improvement to Saturday and Sunday. Tomorrow, the forecast maximum temperature is going to be about 33, and Saturday 34, and Sunday 34.5. That is the next heat wave. This has been the local weather forecast. It could be moderate in some places still, because after 41.6 millimeters until 2 p.m. today, it's still very likely we can have some showers this evening. Let us take a look at our large-scale weather satellite picture, and we can pick up what happened today just in the bottom of our picture here. This is the Lesser Antilles area, and the cloudiness just on the shoulder of the mainland, some of it encroaching towards us, some of it encroaching from the east also. Very, very cloudy in this area. The systems are double. This here is the instability with the mainland and a shear line affecting Trinidad. The central portions of the Lesser Antilles are dry spot, little or nothing happening there. And in the northern parts, in the leeward area, 1 or 2 showers because we still have that lingering old frontal boundary which is not dissipating, so it's continuing tomorrow to give some precipitation. The southern windward, like Trinidad and Tobago, we have a large blob of cloudiness occupying the area of Hispaniola and into the Caribbean Sea and well north, right into Bermuda. Quite a few thunder showers there, and I showed off the other day and I described this as a mesoscale convective complex. I'll use this a little more frequently. It is there and is going to cause flooding in parts of Haiti, in parts of San Domingo, and also in Puerto Rico. It could also sideswipe the Lesser Antilles over the next 36 to 48 hours. It leaves the Western Caribbean almost cloud-free, just the odd shower over Cuba is the forecast. And there's quite a bit of cloudiness again in the Florida Peninsula, so today Miami was a bit cloudy. But let us change focus and take up the other satellite picture where we look a little more closely into this. What we are seeing here, since Monday, we had just over the Oklahoma region a comma cloud. Here we still see the comma. This means the air is spiraling to the center. So this here has a lot of thunder showers. It's an upper level system with a frontal band. The frontal band is forecast to give the southern Florida Peninsula some thunder showers over the next 12 to 24 hours. But this here is going to occupy the southeast from areas north of Georgia right into New Jersey with showers and thunder showers. Let us take a look at the forecast and pick this up. The low pressure cell is moving very slowly out. As it gets to the seaboard, the front lags behind. So this is 24 hours from now. That means the showers will continue along here. The high pressure system pushing very slowly will eventually bring clear weather to most of the region by late tomorrow and definitely on Saturday. Another flooded system coming from Canada is going to be occupying the Great Lakes region over the next 24 hours, and that means the chance of thunder showers and some rain, especially in Toronto, eventually reaching Montreal by tomorrow night. Today, temperatures in Toronto and Montreal just topping off at 12 degrees Celsius, and in New York, it started at 21 degrees this morning and plunged to right now around 15 degrees Celsius. That is as the frontal system is getting through. In Miami, it was hot, hotter than Trinidad today. It was 32 degrees Celsius, and we here in Trinidad only 29.5 degrees Celsius. Across the Atlantic, it was a mixture of sunshine and cloudiness in London. Temperatures reached 16. Tomorrow, 17 is forecast, but there is a change that the cloudiness will begin to precipitate. There is a chance, therefore, of rain. They say about 30%. That means it's very likely it's going to get. And the forecast for Trinidad and Tobago over the next 24 hours, a review. We had a shear line today, which is not really a typical rainy season system. It is a system that can be found any year, and it produces quite a bit of rainfall. The shear line is weakening, yet we forecast lingering shower activity in the eastern districts, mainly during the morning, but tonight we'll have some nocturnal showers, and during the daytime, here and there, 1 or 2 showers will continue to show up. Gusty winds will accompany showers. This has been the Weathercast.
Wearing gloves for all wood and metal surfaces. From Venta.
Well, after that deluge last night, and yes, there was one last night again, up to 20 millimeters of rainfall recorded in some regions of the country, Trinidad, and also some showers in Tobago. You know that 20 millimeters last night made the total rainfall for that episode yesterday, within 24 hours, as much as 61 millimeters. Now, how much is that? Well, let me tell you how much that is. That is just a bit more than the total rainfall for February, March, and April. Yes, it was rainy. And today it tapered off. But didn't we promise that in the forecast last night? Yes, we did say that the system was weakening, it was tapering off, and we should get fairer weather. I did promise 33 degrees Celsius as a maximum. Forgive me, I was off by just 1 degree. It was just about 32. Let us take a look at the satellite picture and see what's in store for us for the weekend. It might be an important weekend, and this satellite picture suggests something is happening. Now, I'm not very impressed by what is happening. I'll tell you why. We are here located, and to the west of us is some of that cloudiness that passed by, which I was calling a shear line, and then a lot of dramatic things happening from the continent moving northward, a process developing, and clouds are congesting just about here. This doesn't interest us. The lesser Antilles has cleared up. Most of that system, which was the frontal boundary, has moved by to the north of it. There's cloudiness, and this is sideswiping the leeward to produce some showers there. But generally, conditions will be nice in the lesser Antilles. I'm concerned about the little gray, the little spots we've been seeing here. There's a very good chance that that debris in it does have some showers. So over the next 24 hours, I must recognize that showers and the isolated thunder shower forecast for the Guyanas. My 24-hour forecast then for tomorrow, look at it. We're going to have some clouds, a little bit of cloud, then the shower. In the morning period, we still have the wind maximum, so we're going to get these showers along the east. And this is something we've been repeating very frequently. During the daytime, near the hilly districts, look out for that odd shower. But in between, quite a bit of sun. You know something? I'm still thinking that tomorrow that maximum temperature could reach 34. We're in for a mini heat wave still. After that, then the rain. My 3-day forecast suggests tomorrow will be fair. Sunday, a little thing could happen as that little gray patch could drift in. It's not very impressive, doesn't have much shower activity in it. And by Monday, yes, we expect a change. We expect some showers again, because by then the temperatures would be really soaring, and the chances are that we need some cooling. This has been the local weather forecast.
Carib is truly bear at its best. A bear is a Carib.
Well, the temperature outside is 26.7 degrees Celsius, and the humidity just about 85%. And there's a little wind drift out of the east reaching up to 10 kilometers per hour. These conditions are very, very normal. What was happening last night was not normal. That torrential downpour, we have not had any reports of floods. Anyhow, let us take a look at our large-scale weather satellite picture and build up conditions for the Caribbean and North America. As it is, there's one area of very, very significant rainfall, and this is from the Venezuela Colombia region, and that cloudiness is stretching towards the greater Antilles in the Caribbean Sea. Right now, there are heavy, very, very heavy thunder showers, and this is the forecast, for instance, for Maiquetía Airport and Caracas. Down south, we find the Guyanas having some cloudiness also, and that cloudiness will have in it some showers, the isolated thunder showers is the forecast. And that is the IPCC, by the way, that is going to come up, and I believe this is going to happen sometime next week. To the east of the lesser Antillean chain, there's very little happening. There is a nice clear zone, and this is moving towards them, so they should have a pretty good weekend. In the northern portions, improvement came about as the cloud band, which was right about there, dissipated. Another cloud band right now here is moving away. It shouldn't threaten much of them. But we find over Hispaniola, yesterday's cloudiness and showers and thunder showers, which are forecast, still occurring. There's a very good chance that that will also happen in Puerto Rico, leaving Cuba with little or nothing happening there, near there. Jamaica, after 2 or 3 weeks of very unsettled weather, seems to be enjoying or will be enjoying a good weekend. This cloudiness here is cirrus, not threatening. And the seaboard, the eastern seaboard, southeastern United States, very good. Most of the eastern United States clear. Let us take a different look at this, and here it is. no organized weather, no instability, no threat for at least the weekend, and it seems as if it's really going to be nice. There is one little area, this is just near the Great Lakes right now, a frontal system pushing down from Canada, causing right now some cloudiness and precipitation, rain mainly in Toronto. It's going to spread also to Montreal. By the way, in Toronto today, temperatures just around 13, in Montreal around 15, and in New York 21. Down south, it was just about the same as it was in Trinidad and Miami, 32 degrees Celsius. The system has gone by and clearing forecast. Let us take a look at the forecast for the next 24 hours. And we see the coast is clear, that frontal system from Canada pushing through the Great Lakes, moving by in the next 24 hours. The narrow band of thunderstorms reaching from Kentucky right into Pennsylvania and into Canada. But look at this white cap here, some flurries. It's still cool up there. Tomorrow we find on the coast temperatures will be a bit up and up. And across the Atlantic today, it was dull at times in London. Temperature just about 17 as a maximum. In fact, there was some spotted shower activity here and there, especially in London too. And tomorrow, what do we expect? There you are. You see it. Showers, sprinkles, in some areas as high as 40% chance. And the temperature maximum, in case you're thinking of London tomorrow, 16 degrees Celsius. A repeat of that forecast for Trinidad and Tobago for the weekend. I believe we have a bit of cloudiness just to the east of us. It's not very impressive. It has the odd shower in it, but not sufficient to cause anything like yesterday. So my forecast for tomorrow is very optimistic. We see some showers in the morning period. In fact, there is a chance of a nocturnal shower in eastern districts, possibly also in Tobago, but it is not going to be a major thing there. And for the rest of the day, near the hills, due to the heating and due to the mountains, we can find 1 or 2 showers. They will be of the brisk variety. And Sunday, remember, the weekend day, there is also a chance that cloudiness can hang around. This has been the Weathercast. Here, shower there, but it is mainly odd shower. And this morning, it started very unpromising in that we had at least one torrential shower, which in 15 minutes at the airport produced 10 millimeters of rainfall. And then the day improved. Right now, outside is very, very stable. We had a lot of sunshine. Maximum temperature is 33 degrees Celsius, and there is a Saharan aerosol around. Let us take a look at the satellite picture and see why conditions have been so really good. On this, we see uneventful area over most of the Lesser Antilles. There's one little blob of cloudiness which seems to be moving towards the Leeward Islands, and this could produce a shower there during the evening. But generally, the Lesser Antillean chain is going to be very stable. To the east of us, nothing organized is coming by. But we see a little bit of cloudiness here, and I'm concerned about that because it means somewhere just near about 1,500 kilometers away, there could be the season's first tropical wave. If this is true, it could begin to affect us way into Thursday. We see the continent with the usual showers and thunder showers, and this is going to keep the people busy in Guyana tomorrow. Most of the Guyanas, in fact. Peninsula, again, the eastern districts under some thunder showers, the western districts improving. So my forecast for the next 24 hours with little or nothing happening nearby continues to be that we are going to see in the 24-hour period, we have a low-level wind maximum, and this could produce the morning shower. It did this morning. And then for the rest of the day, near orographic-type showers near the northern range. But other than that, some sunshine and the Saharan aerosol hanging around. In the 3-day forecast, we're going to call tomorrow mixed. Well, I'm not seeing the 3-day forecast yet, but the 3-day forecast will indicate tomorrow is going to be fair, sorry, Wednesday is fair, and Thursday, when and if that is a tropical wave is going to migrate towards our longitudes, we could see a small change. Again, we continue to say, in spite of criticism, the rainy season is not here yet. So what produced the rain this morning? We'll get into that during the week. This has been the local weather forecast.
Carib is truly bear at its best. A bear is a Carib.
After 3 consecutive months of local weather rainfall deficits, we believe that this month of May, could just get beyond the normal. The normal is 115 to 120 millimeters according to the Piaco record, and already we have almost 100 millimeters. Of course, the deficit was very, very big between February and April. Let us take a look at the regional satellite picture, and on that we see 2 very important areas of cloudiness separated by a clear zone. The area of cloudiness down south is continental in origin. It's the doldrums, it's the intertropical convergence zone, and this refuses to come up to Trinidad. In fact, there is little or no significant weather in the lesser Antillean area. The odd shower is forecast for there tomorrow, tropical trade wind type shower. And then there is another very large area of cloudiness which belongs to a middle latitude westerly system moving towards the east. In between this is the answer to when the rainy season is going to come. When this system moves north and these systems move a little bit north also, then that is going to be the case. Anyhow, lesser Antilles is pretty good. The continent, the Guyanas, some showers, the thunder shower, so too is the forecast for Caracas. And near Jamaica, after a lot of rainfall over the past several weeks, they are starting to experience again another weather system which could bring showers and thunder showers. So to the eastern portions of Cuba and Hispaniola. Puerto Rico is also looking out for some showers from this weather system. It's very, very slow moving. This is going to occupy that region for at least 2 to 3 days. And then we take a look at North America and we change focus to the other satellite picture. We see the peninsula is quite clear. Temperatures in Miami today in clear skies, just about 32 degrees Celsius. Most of the coastal regions, quite good. It was as high as 21, that's 70 degrees Fahrenheit in New York. But in Toronto and in Montreal, it was somewhat cloudy due to this jet stream, which you see moving and curving by that region. An important frontal system is developing in the central regions of the North American continent with some very heavy thunder showers from northern Georgia and Alabama right back just north of Memphis and into the upper parts of the Mississippi Valley. We take a look at the forecast for the next 24 hours, and in the 24-hour forecast, we see that frontal system moving by. A high-pressure system is pushing it. The system is coming down south. The front is moving a bit towards the east, paralleling the Appalachian chain. So showers and thunder showers in the warm sector of this frontal system. Behind, this is north of the warm front, there is going to be some rain. The chance of the shower or thunder shower in Montreal and in Toronto. But New York will remain tomorrow almost cloud-free at times, but during the later part of the day, some cloudiness will increase. No chance of precipitation until late at night. Down south, conditions continue to be good with the high-pressure system. 32 is another forecast of temperature for tomorrow, but in New York, it could be a bit cooler, just around 18. In Toronto and Montreal, the front goes through in the middle teens to lower teens. Across the Atlantic, it was a poor day. Some areas had quite a bit of rain, some areas showers and thunder showers. In London, after some cloudy periods during the morning, there was the thunder shower during the later part of the day. And tomorrow, again, showers are forecast for most of the UK. There is a small chance of a thunder shower. The temperature, which is 17 today, will be 16 tomorrow in London. A repeat of the Trinidad and Tobago forecast. Not much is happening nearby. So my 24-hour forecast, after tonight, that is when we expect the early morning pre-dawn shower in the eastern districts most likely. We're going to have just the odd shower during the daytime, favoring again hilly districts, and if the heating does get up to 33, 34, just around the central and western coastal areas. There's a very, very small chance the shower could show up in Tobago during the earlier part of the day. Very uneventful weather for at least 48 hours in our region. This has been the Weathercast. A cool night after a series of very hot and sometimes steamy nights. Maximum temperature today in the sunny afternoon, 33 degrees Celsius. But this morning we had a couple of showers, I must admit. 1 or 2 were moderate. They didn't last very long. And as I said, now it's quite stable. Let us take a look at the satellite picture. And surprise, surprise, on the satellite picture for the Eastern Caribbean, it's not there yet, but we have a large clearing zone. And I wonder, it's a, okay, here it is. The large clearing zone to the east and southeast of us is what had adapted that very pleasant weather today. We're located here. Nothing is there, but I'll take a look at these cloudiness. I take a look just off the edge there at the office today of some cloudiness moving by. And it seems as if the season's first tropical wave is lurking right there. Now, yesterday, just located around here, there was a large area of cloudiness. Whatever happened to that? We're expecting some showers and thunder showers. I'll tell you, southeasterly winds took those clouds to the north, the drier north, and they dissipated. They did not go through, so we had a pretty good day. And what's in store for us over the next 24 hours? No threat from any organized cloudiness, no weather system to produce any significant showers. But we still have the land and the daytime conditions to look for. Let us take a look at my forecast for tomorrow. Tonight, pretty good. In the morning period, the chance of showers in the eastern districts. This happened this morning. It happened yesterday morning. And then during the daytime, maximum temperature soaring between 33 and 34. If that does happen, look out. The shower could develop in the central districts. The chance of the thunder shower along the western districts. These will stand because the wind systems are very weak. It means, therefore, that we can have pouring in one location up to 30, maybe 40 millimeters of rainfall. And over the 3-day period, we'll consider tomorrow mixed. Friday, there is a very good chance a tropical wave which is lurking to the east could begin to show up. And by Saturday, if the wave does pass through, it means that conditions should return to something as it was today. Normal, sunny, in between the precipitation. And the rainy season, well, is coming. That tropical wave could bring it. Rains do not make the rainy season. In fact, weather systems belong to the weather, to the rainy season, make the rainy season. This has been the local weather forecast.
Carib is truly bear at its best. A bear is a Carib.
It's still very stable outside, and the temperature is 26.5 degrees Celsius, which is good. Actually, it's a 0.5 of a degree lower than it has been over the past several days since we've been having the bit of rainfall. And that means tonight could be cool. Anyhow, let us go quickly to our large-scale satellite picture, and it seems as if I must take a cue from the sportsman. He said that I said that the rains in Jamaica would have been caused by a mesoscale convective complex. There was a little joke on the set, MCC. That's cricket. So how could they play football? But anyhow, let's take it up. On the eastern parts of the Caribbean, it's clear, very stable. Little or no organized cloudiness threatening those areas, and so just a trade wind shower is forecast. Down south, the Guyanas, in that area, the odd thunder shower. There is no organized cloudiness, so daytime heating will produce that. And Venezuela is clearing. Last night, all the areas there, eastern, strong thunderstorms. However, they dissipated. And then let's get to the western Caribbean, western central Caribbean, and that mesoscale convective complex. This large area of cloudiness here, an old frontal boundary that came in. Now, mesoscale has to do with geographical size. Not very big, just about 500 miles across. And convective, of course, would mean that it has a lot of thunder showers, and complex means that it's not one single weather system. So therefore, that is going to dominate and produce. Last night it produced 12 hours of thunder showers in Jamaica. Floods are still forecast. Tomorrow, some improvement in the afternoon. And in North America, what we have in North America is a frontal system that stretches from just south of our picture in the Bay of Campeche, right through the Florida Panhandle, along the east coast to the Carolinas, north of Pennsylvania. All that there is thunder showers, and to the north is rain. So today, some rain in Toronto, clearing as the system went through. Rain almost all day in Montreal, and some more is forecast. In New York, cloudiness is increasing, but the rain is going to spread in that area. Behind, there is an upper-level system that is also producing some showers. This is a surprise to us. And a frontal system coming down from Canada. Let us take a look at the forecast for the next 24 hours. Because these systems, first, the one from Canada slipping down into the Great Lakes area, where it is expected to produce 1 or 2 showers. And Toronto is going to stay out of it. Montreal eventually clearing with that rain, but the east coast is going to be under cloudiness most of the day tomorrow. We expect Boston to experience quite a bit of drizzle and rain, some showers, the possibility of a thunder shower in New York and in Washington. Down south, the cloudiness is moving with the front, and the chance is increasing of the thunder shower. This afternoon, Miami had a severe thunder shower. The temperature down there before the thunder shower was 31. In Montreal and Toronto today, it was just around 11. Across the Atlantic, 18 degrees is the forecast for tomorrow. It was 18 degrees today, and some rain with the possibility, about 20% chance of the shower or the thunder shower is the forecast for London. For Trinidad and Tobago, a quick review of that forecast. Early morning shower expected along the eastern districts. As the heat builds up during the day, we expect a shower or a thunder shower to develop along western districts. Other than that, no threat of organized cloudiness. It's going to be hot. It's going to be sunny at times. This has been the Weathercast.
Tonight's international weather was brought to you in part by Carib Beer.
Nothing like the taste of Carib Beer. Brewed to perfection right here in TNT. Carib is the golden taste that tells you you're enjoying your very own. Carib is truly beer at its best. A bear is a Carib.
Well, it was a pretty good day. We had some showers during the morning. In fact, in eastern areas, if somebody told me that there might have been a thunder shower this morning just after dawn, I will have no doubt about that. But then it got better as the day went on. You know, it got so good that this afternoon we counted about 15 fires in the northern range. Hey, is the rainy season here yet? Well, why are those guys burning there? Why are conditions still so good? Let us take a look at that satellite picture for the Eastern Caribbean area. And on that satellite picture, we have something happening. It doesn't look very impressive. In fact, it is not spectacular, but it's very important. And I mean these little dots right outside here. That is the old IPCZ. That is the cloud band we've been looking for. I said it wasn't impressive, but the fact that it is there pointing towards us, that's important. Yesterday, we were saying that there was a tropical wave somewhere just east of us. We couldn't see it. You know, we're still not seeing the tropical wave, but the forecast continues to indicate that it is just about 600 kilometers to the east of us and could produce some instability tomorrow. The mainland, not much is happening along the coastal district, so we had 1 or 2 showers there today. All this cloudiness in the leewards here will have nothing to do with rain. Mainly upper-level cloud being drifted down into the island chain. A lot of cirrus clouds are not rain-producing. So that area pretty good, in the continent pretty good. And for Trinidad and Tobago, over the next 24 hours, we are not going for a lot. In fact, as I said, it's not impressive. I'm using that word so frequently because it means that we could have a shower or two. I'm putting these showers mainly near the northern range. The chances are the winds abrading on the northern range could stimulate those showers. There is a chance in eastern districts again during the morning period. We can see 1 or 2 showers. I don't think we're going to see a thunder shower. And in western coastal districts during the daytime, they might start in central regions, moving towards the west. Tobago had a couple of showers today. We expect tomorrow just to see the sprinkles in that region. The tropical wave is not very active. If, however, it does come, you know that is going to start the 1993 rainy season. In my 3-day forecast, I play it like this. Tomorrow we consider that those conditions to be mixed, and as the wave passes through, if it is a real wave, by Saturday we'd have improvement, quite a bit of sunshine, some Sahara dust, and unsettled conditions forecast to return again during Sunday. So the weekend could be Saturday good, Sunday not so hot. Plan for your weekend now. This has been the local weather forecast.
Tonight's local weather forecast was brought to you in part by Caribbean.
There is nothing like the taste of Caribbean. Brewed to perfection right here in TNT. Carib is the golden taste that tells you you're enjoying your very own. Carib is truly beer at its best. A beer is a Carib.
Well, it's quiet outside, and there is no moon. In fact, the moon is going to be new tomorrow just after 10 a.m. And while we are at it, in some astronomy, astrologically tomorrow the sun enters Gemini, but astronomically it's still going to be in Taurus. Work that one out. Let us take a look at our large-scale satellite picture, and on the large-scale satellite picture there is quite a lot happening. Our interest, of course, will be focused in the area of the Central Caribbean and Western Caribbean. This locates Jamaica right here, and this area of cloudiness would have been the debris, the remnant, as it were, from that large cloud complex which we saw and which produced in some areas in central Jamaica up to 13 inches of rainfall. This would be a record if it were to happen in Trinidad, and all that flooding. Now the system is moving towards the west. Just in Puerto Rico, a 5-day heat wave has been broken today by the cloudiness. Again, the debris moving over Puerto Rico. Temperatures were above 34 for 5 consecutive days. We recall our personal local experience with 34-degree temperatures. Anyhow, tomorrow they expect showers and thunder showers there. Most of the Lesser Antilles, which were pretty good today, with this upper-level cloud creating a canopy over them. Tomorrow, the northern portions could experience a shower, but certainly by Saturday, thunder showers are forecast for the northern portions. The rest of the Lesser Antilles and the southern portions should be quite stable, just a tropical island shower expected. The continent nearby, Caracas, is going to be good. Down in the Guyanas, we expect a shower or thunder shower. It's pretty mild down there. And in the Western Caribbean, conditions are also good. Jamaica, therefore, improving today. There was a bit of sunshine, and it is forecast that tomorrow improvement will continue. We're really sorry for what happened there. And we take a look now at the North American continent. We see the Florida Peninsula clear, and as we change focus, we see the continuing clearing in southern states, which were yesterday under some showers and thunder showers, as this frontal system, which has gone by now, has cleared the zone. north of, let's say, Tennessee, we can see some cloudiness, spotted shower activity in this. There is a front located just about here, immediately south of Lake Michigan, and there is this other frontal system. So conditions today, 32 by the way in Miami, but in New York it was 14, and by some coincidence it was also 14 as the maximum in Montreal and Toronto. When you get to London, it is also going to be 14. Anyhow, some precipitation early morning in New York and in Montreal, some very, very strong winds in Toronto. Tomorrow, let us take a look at that forecast for tomorrow. Because this frontal system goes by, there is some New England precipitation still forecast. The second frontal system does not have much precipitation in it. It has some cloud, and maybe along the Appalachians we're going to get the cloudiness and the precipitation, but generally it's going to be fair with the odd shower as the forecast. And the important thing, most of the weekend is going to be good, because out here will be clearing and the other rain system is some distance away. Across the Atlantic, it rained today in England, in the UK. That rain produced a minimum temperature of last night, 8 degrees Celsius, and during the daytime, that maximum of 14, which we saw in the metropolitan North America. Tomorrow is expected to be 18. Why? We expect some sunshine to come out, and that sunshine, of course, is going to be, I don't know if I'm on or off, but the sunshine is going to be welcome after some rain. Here we are now. And the forecast for Trinidad and Tobago, a repeat of what we had earlier. We expect a very weak tropical wave to come by tomorrow. That tropical wave could stimulate some shower activity. We do expect some shower activity, not a rainy day. If that tropical wave stimulates the rain, of course, we're going to say that is the start of the rainy season. But other than that, we expect mixed conditions. Tobago could also see a shower. This has been...
Carib is truly bear at its best. A bear is a Carib.
Well, it's very pleasant outside right now. The temperature is 26.5 degrees Celsius. Humidity just about 87%, and a light wind drift from the east. In fact, tonight it seems as if we can have a minimum of about 23.5, and that would be reasonably pleasant, considering that we have been having some sweaty nights recently. We take a look at the large-scale satellite picture, and we begin down in the Guyanas. Some clearing, but 1 or 2 thundershowers popped up during the daytime, and this was due again to the heating. Temperatures reached 33 in Cayenne and also 32.5 in Paramaribo. This leaves a very large hole in most of the Leeward Islands, the northern parts of the West Atlantic, the Leeward, they had some cloudiness, but the windwards, Trinidad and Tobago, and the nearby continent, reasonably clear. 1 or 2 showers we had during the daytime, and quite a bit of sunshine. Most of the lesser Antillean chain will be good, nice, over the next 24 hours. This is not the picture, however, in the central parts of the Greater Antilles and in the Caribbean Sea. A surprise, in fact, a big surprise. Kingston last night experienced a lingering thunderstorm, and that caught us by surprise. The cloudiness has hardly moved. In fact, this cloudiness has grown in size over the past 24 hours. There is no threat, we believe, to Kingston, because the tendency for that cloudiness to move is this way, seeing that it is an old frontal system, a part of the winter system lagging by. And the Western Caribbean, over Cuba, for instance, the little spots here represent isolated thundershowers popping up during the day, again due to the heating. So this will continue to happen tomorrow. We expect, like Puerto Rico and the northern part of the Leeward Island, to have showers and thundershowers. Puerto Rico had a few of them today. We take a look now at North America. The peninsula is good, and a closer look at the North America region will show us that yesterday's cloudiness, this is the little bit of dirty cloudiness we have here, is actually moving. But separating this from the old frontal system that went by is a dry slot, a sunny slot, which today brought sun to New York and also to Montreal in the north. But a surprise, this little area of cloudiness here with the white touches, a very weak cold frontal system, brought a couple hours of thunder showers to, of all places, Toronto. The temperature is only 13, and the forecast is suggesting some sun. Anyhow, this frontal system is moving by. The next frontal system is very far away, no threat to even near the Mississippi. It's all going to be in the mountains, swooping down to the plains. So the weekend should be nice here. Let us look at the forecast. The forecast suggests that the front goes out, the lingering shower in New England states, possibly also in Boston, the chance of the shower in New York. Behind the high-pressure cell, it's going to bring some low temperatures, but it's going to be pleasant. Down south, nice, low frontal system. And this could hold on for at least all to 60 hours. Across the Atlantic, well, it was dull. sometimes. We had forecast some sunshine. The northern portions of the UK had some precipitation earlier, drizzle. Down in the south, the sun peep at time, the temperature went up to 18 degrees Celsius. Tomorrow, 20 is forecast. The winds will be somewhat from the south, but then again, look at it. We're going to be having some precipitation. And for Trinidad and Tobago, a repeat of the 24-hour forecast and just a little hint what it might be on Sunday. Over the next 24 hours, we're not looking for a lot. There is no tropical wave, no organized cloudiness, nothing that will be coming in to create any change in the pattern we had today. So we're playing for local showers developing. The morning should be really nice, uneventful. During the afternoon time, the shower, possibly a thunder shower suggesting along the west coast areas. And by Sunday, as an outlook, it seems as if a tropical wave will begin to engage us. If that happens, look out for some rain. This has been the international weather. The rainy season was inaugurated during the weekend with the passage of a tropical wave. And what kind of season is it expected to be? One can say, looking at the initial stages, it promises to be hectic. It promises to be very active. It started on schedule, and we have been looking out there, seeing more moisture, seeing more tropical waves, and you know, we're going to pay attention to tropical waves as they come by. What is a tropical wave again? Well, an oscillating wind pattern between Africa and the Caribbean. Usually it is associated with some moisture increase and some weather, some showers and thunder showers. So let us take a look at the satellite picture today and see how very busy this satellite picture is. To the west, near Jamaica, to the east, almost to the edge of our chart. There's a lot of cloudiness. Let's try to make some sense out of this. Trinidad is located just around there. It looks clear. There is a clear slot to the northwest, a clear slot to the south, southeast, and to the northeast and north. There is a lot of cloudiness. Now, we don't believe we're going to be getting any threat from this area of cloudiness. The Lesser Antillean chain is located just around there, pointing to Tobago, just about there. And they had today some showers, some thunder showers in one or two zones, but that cloudiness is staying stationary, tending to move away. We're not going to be bothering with Trinidad and Tobago and that bit of weather. Down in the Guianas, some showers and thunder showers along the coast, so that is normal. Near Venezuela, not much is happening. I don't like that. Heating here will draw this cloudiness towards it over the next 24 hours. And in the west, that cloudiness won't bother us. What is going to bother us? These little bits of cloudiness which we see to the east of us. The winds are southeasterly, and they will move that moisture due to that cloudiness into us. My forecast, therefore, for the next 24 hours is one which suggests that we're going to be seeing some showers. Observe over the northern range, for instance, we have quite a bit more cloudiness than we have with this shower. It means that those winds which are east, southeast will really hit those hills, cause the rising air motion, and produce some very, very heavy showers in that region. There's also the possibility of an isolated thunder shower, just about 15 to 20%. West coastal areas, look out for showers. We don't expect showers in the east coast during the morning, as we were saying just a few days back. Now it seems as if we're going to be playing for local conditions, stimulating that moisture. Otherwise, we're going to be seeing some breaks, some sunshine in between. I am sure that Count Point tomorrow will be recording in our station 1 or 2 showers. For the next 3 days, my 3-day forecast, we consider tomorrow conditions to be mixed. That tropical wave should become full-fledged by Thursday. We expect during the night tomorrow night or by Thursday to see that. And you see the zigzag there? That is lightning. It means that we're going to have some thunder showers. Not the chance, but certainly by Thursday. By Friday, if the wave passes through, we should have a let-up. This has been the local weather forecast.
There is a Carib.
Well, it's very stable outside in downtown Port of Spain right now. I know for most of the islands, Trinidad and Tobago, we expect the most that can be happening is just the odd lingering shower. A little while back, there was a stroke of lightning in the distant west as there was a dissipating thunder shower somewhere across the mainland. But it's pretty good. And today we had some showers. Again, the rainy season is here. Let us take a look at the large-scale satellite picture. And on that, we have quite a lot to talk about, because we have never had, for more than a month maybe, as much cloudiness as we have on this present satellite picture. What is happening right here? The easterly winds are being encouraged to move towards the north as they approach the Lesser Antilles and deposit their moisture laden. So they're depositing their moisture to a cold frontal system and upper level disturbances. And this is creating a congestion here, cloudiness. Most of it, however, lies east of the island chain, and some of the islands could experience over the next 24 hours still the shower or the thunder shower as they did today. And then again, we take a look at Jamaica. After all the rains for the past several weeks, we find that Jamaica is having quite a bit of cloudiness, showers and thunder showers from the Yucatan back into Hispaniola, mainly due to an old frontal boundary and upper level disturbance. And this is not moving fast. The showers and thunder showers forecast for that area. Down in the mainland itself, we see Caracas is right now clear, but over the next 24 hours, there is going to be a drift in cloudiness towards closer to Trinidad, not on Trinidad. This will bring some showers or thunder showers there. The Guyanas will experience the usual local daytime shower or thunder shower. Cuba in the west, quite fair. In fact, Cuba will continue to improve as the cloudiness stays a bit squat on the latitude, leaving Cuba mostly clear. This large clearing here is obviously a high-pressure system and good weather. Now, it's very, very important to look at what is happening on the United States area, because just here in the Bay of Campeche, this is south of the Gulf Coast, there is a nasty area of cloudiness, and that is being looked at very, very closely because the hurricane season starts next year. This is where we expect probably the first system to form. This system is connected to a cold frontal system. That cold frontal system did not affect New York today because look at this picture here. The cold frontal system is from the Gulf right across the Appalachian chain, and New York out in some sunny conditions. Temperature in New York today, better believe this, our maximum was 31. In New York, 31.2 degrees Celsius, as hot, just a little bit hotter than Trinidad. And only in Toronto, only 11 degrees Celsius. That means the cold front is between New York and Toronto. That is going to slip by tonight, probably give the shower, the thunder shower to New York and to the nearby cities. It is going to drift into the eastern part of the Appalachian chain. And let us take a look at the forecast for the next 24 hours. Another cold front comes down from Canada. It is going to be located just near Toronto. So in the 24-hour period, no bad weather for Toronto or Montreal. Tomorrow night into the following day, the chance of the shower. Our cold frontal system is spreading across the Gulf, and the Gulf states will experience some showers, a low-pressure area here, but the high-pressure system is pushing it by thunder showers along the front, leaving the peninsula clear still. From Cape Hatteras back down into Dixie. North of that, pretty good weather. The showers or the thunder showers will not affect not affect Boston, New York, or Washington, Baltimore until late on Thursday. Across the Atlantic, it was a day of spotty shower activity over most of the UK. The temperature in London reached 20 degrees Celsius, and tomorrow it's forecast to be 18 degrees Celsius, but tomorrow there is a chance of the shower. There's also the chance of a torrential thunder shower, and the forecast suggests that tiny hail could fall from those thunder showers. We don't have any such thing happening in the Caribbean eastern portions, nor in Trinidad and Tobago. Tomorrow we expect a mixed day, some very heavy showers in the northern portions of the island of Trinidad, the bigger cloud here, the wider area of showers, and some showers located here or there, but mainly in between. They will be cloudy, nice bit of sunshine now and then, but watch it, the sunshine will breed that shower, or possibly about 20% chance of a thunder shower. In the outlook period, some increasing rain by Thursday. This has been the Weathercast.
Prasad, an employee of the Ministry of Health Education Division, explained that while driving through Cuba on assignment, the object landed on the vehicle that he was driving.
We had a horn that blowing the back of us, and you do notice we saw this big something coming down like a parachute, which is notice coming down just in front of us, and a set of cars that just take the edge of the road, blowing horn and stopping and we come to a complete stop and it just fell in front and hooked up on the bumper of the vehicle. So we was a bit scared and we stopped a little while. I and my co-worker, named Paris, and after a few minutes we decided to see what it is. So we went closer to it and we see some reading something about meteorological something. So we decided to pick it up and bring it because...
According to information on the outside of the box, the contents is a radiosonde, a meteorological or weather instrument used to measure temperature, pressure, humidity, and other climatic conditions. It is the property of the U.S. government National Weather Service, and Prasad says he will be returning the instrument to the U.S. Embassy in this country. Ingrid Sampson, TTT News.
Well, one can well imagine what the reactions were of people in that Cuba district, but here's a man who deals with things that come from the skies.
Yes, Gideon, and in fact I have a rejected box, as we call it here, the Raven sound box or the radio sound box. Is really used for the sounding of the atmosphere above us, because meteorology is basically a highly sophisticated mathematical science. Yet in its original form, it was an observational science, and that means we need observations to diagnose the atmosphere and to say something about it in future time. This box helps us to understand what it is like in the upper atmosphere, and twice per day we release this box with the balloon assembly, and it goes as high sometimes as up to 15 miles in the atmosphere. Twice per day. It's a costly experiment, but the information is not kept here. It is furnished to the Global Weather Network, and it goes into the computer models, and they make forecasts not only for our area. But I could tell you something. In this, the instrumentation is very simple. We have an instrument to measure pressure. It's an aneroid type barometer. And then the airflow here is going to give us a feel for the humidity. There is an instrument also, a very tiny element, to measure temperature, a thermistor. And right around there is what a lot of people are amazed about. We have a radio transmitter and the electronics board. All this goes up. It is not good when it comes back down. You can keep it. You can send it to the United States if you want. But for all purposes, we have gotten the information by the radio sending down to us. We receive it, we process it, and we use it.
And there's absolutely no reason for fear from what Reverend Majaj was saying a little while ago. Up next, we'll take a look at the local weather picture.
Tonight's local weather forecast is brought to you by Tylenol and Caribbeer.
Tylenol Cold. It relieves coughs and colds as effectively as original Tylenol relieves headaches. Its 4 powerful active ingredients relieve runny nose, congestion, hacking coughs, and aching pains. So, when you get a cold, get strong relief from Tylenol Cold. Tylenol Cold, the fast and effective name in cold relief. Also in a no drowsiness formula.
Well, after that very dramatic introduction to the weather report about the UFO, let's get down to earth, a little more practical today. And you know, we had a nice forecast because what did we see? There was going to be some sunshine in between those couple of showers. 1 or 2 of them was going to be moderate. And in fact, that happened. There was, right now, in fact, there was a couple of minutes ago to the east, to the west of Port of Spain, some very heavy cumulonimbus cloud, and I expect flashes of lightning to be coming from them. Atmospheric electricity for you, maybe over the next hour or so. In the meantime, let us take a look at the satellite picture and see what has happened yesterday. Changes have occurred. Very significant changes, very dramatic changes. Dramatic in the sense that, let us try to locate Trinidad here, right around there. And a pincer movement from all directions. We are being isolated in a clear slot right there by clouds which are coming from all around. So what are we going to do? It seems as if this continues to happen, we are really going to be in for a rainy day. But no. To the north, most of this cloudiness today gave showers and thunder showers to the island chain. Not a lot of it, here and there only. And we did forecast that this area, which was clear yesterday, was going to close in by clouds moving from that. Disappointment, of course. The weather did not come from the southeast. It is right now, in fact, to the east-northeast of us. So what we're going to say for the next 24 hours? Basically this, that all that cloudiness will take its time to get to us. Number 1. Number 2, we are going to have a change from the pattern we had today. A very slow change is anticipated. Let us take a look on my 24-hour forecast. We are still going to have some clear skies around, in spite of the clouds closing in on us. But we're going to have some showers which will be moderate. And whereas yesterday I was suggesting that maybe a 15 to 20% chance of that thunder shower, no. Tomorrow I'm certain that we're going to get a thunder shower tomorrow. It may not be isolated. It could be here and there at different times during the day in the period from around 10 o'clock to near 3 or 4 o'clock. So we're looking for the daytime condition and the heating, and the winds are still somewhat from the east and the southeast. Once that happens, the location for the thunder shower, the heavy thunder shower, which will hardly move, which will produce maybe 30 or 40 millimeters of rain, continues to be in northern Trinidad. I still forecast that we can see a couple showers in Tobago because most of the weather is all around us, not on us. And in the 3-day forecast, we will consider tomorrow to be mixed with that shower, the thunder shower, and by Friday, that movement continues to isolate us, yes, but we're going to be cloudy, and then we can have some more showers and thunder showers. By Saturday, we expect some sort of clearing, not to become sunny, but still, we are going to have the odd shower by Saturday. So, in your planning, wait for the updates tomorrow and the day after. This has been the Weathercast.
There is nothing like the taste of best. A bear is a Carib.
In just a few days, in fact on June the 1st, the hurricane season for 1993 starts. It seems as if last night I said this hurricane season starts next year. How could I do that? I'm sure I did not do that. Anyhow, if I did, I know sometimes it seems as if my elevator doesn't reach up to the penthouse. Let's take a look at the large-scale satellite picture, and something big is happening, not hurricane, but rain. And all that seems to be happening south of about 16 degrees latitude, you can buy that, and mostly in the Lesser Antilles area, right down into Venezuela, and back to Jamaica. Now, Jamaica, take Jamaica for instance. Yesterday, quite a lot of cloudiness around. Today, very little cloudiness around. They had some showers, but look what is going to happen. More cloudiness approaching from the west, and tomorrow, Jamaica is expecting some showers and thunder showers again. It leaves most of the Greater Antilles north of Jamaica pretty good. The Lesser Antilles, with this cloudiness hanging around there, could expect a persistence. That is, the weather they had today with showers and isolated thunder showers will continue. For Venezuela, well, today, Caracas and Maiquetía, the airport, had cloudy weather with drizzle times. Very little change forecast in that, the isolated thunder shower. And down south, the Guianas, not so bad today, but tomorrow they're still thinking of the shower or the thunder shower. It leaves Trinidad right there. We'll review the forecast for Trinidad and Tobago. And still further west. Yesterday, quite a lot of cloudiness in the Gulf of Campeche. Most of that has moved north. The frontal system, which is causing that movement, inviting the clouds to the north, is also going off the eastern seaboard. So Cuba, down south, could expect some showers increasing, and Florida Peninsula, clouds are increasing. Let us take a look at the other satellite picture for this general area. On that satellite picture, what we see as we close up, the peninsula is beginning to become cloudy. That means the shower, the thunder shower, is the forecast for most of the peninsula tomorrow. We can see from Louisiana right back into Mississippi into the Carolinas, cloudiness, which is expected to drift. It has some severe thunder showers in the areas of Alabama and into central Georgia. Rainfall in this area estimated sometimes up to 80 millimeters. That is expected to go off, leaving a clearing to the north. A high-pressure system is dominating here. We take a look at this little area of cloudiness, and that little area of cloudiness is expected to gallop. It has showers and thunder showers. Let us take a look at that forecast for the next 24 hours, and you see what I mean. The cloudiness has left here and galloped over the Great Lake in the forecast for the next 24 hours. This means that the seaboard is going to be clear. Toronto to expect some showers. Across the Atlantic, we see some rain today in most of London, most of England, and tomorrow, just a 20% chance of some rain. 18 is the maximum forecast for tomorrow. It was 17 today. Some dust and haze is forecast as the winds are expected to be from off the continent. Dust, we are surprised at that. But for Trinidad and Tobago, our forecast continues to indicate over the next 24 hours that we're going to be having some sort of shower activity, and certainly the thunder shower is going to be isolated, yes, but one could be here, one could be there in different parts of the day. Tobago, look out. You are also into some showers because we have a lot of cloudiness around us. This has been the Weathercast.
Tylenol gets strong relief from Tylenol Cold. Tylenol Cold, the fast and effective name in cold relief. Also in a no drowsiness formula.
Well, our forecast. What about our forecast? Last night we said that it was going to have a thunder shower or two today. We also said we're going to see some sunshine. We did those things. Torrential rain, yes. Rainfall, well, heavy rainfall, 30 some places, maybe 40 millimeters in some places. We had all that today. Thank you very much. Yes, I appreciate that. We had a good forecast. But let us see how we're going to be doing over the next 24 to 48 hours. Because look at this satellite picture. This satellite picture shows cloudiness that we have not had so far for this year. In fact, last year, I don't remember a single day when we had so much cloudiness sitting east of us. If we want to measure from near the equator here to just about 25 degrees north latitude, this is the extent of the cloudiness. And longitudinally, it is from the central Caribbean way to the curve of the earth, almost half the way to Africa. What does this have? Well, significantly, today we had a lot of wind from the south. Do you know what that did? Wind from the south pushed the old IPCC rain band to the north of Trinidad. It is located just here. The line of thunder showers just about there. It didn't even visit us. It just went north. Maybe on the way back we could get some. So this is very confusing for a meteorologist. Why did that happen? And when it is going to reverse? Lesser Antilles today, several showers. Almost every island with showers and thunder showers. And remember yesterday we were almost isolated in that little spot there. The spot remained. Local conditions produced the weather we had. And there is a nice tiny slot parallel to the coast, not inland. Inland there were some showers and thunder showers in the Guianas. So with all this build-up now, what is going to happen over the next 24 hours? Look at my forecast. It's still a very brave one. We still have here and there some sunny spells. This is because I expect the cloudiness that we have tonight to remain and lift. In the interim, it's going to rain out just a little bit. And then tomorrow morning, we could see some cloudiness, but spots of sunshine. And then during the daytime, 1 or 2 moderate showers will develop. And whereas yesterday I was confident that there was going to be a thunder shower, I'm going to say 8% again. 30 or 40% chance of a torrential thunder shower. Now, the winds are not fast. They're still from the south, southeast sometimes. And that means the showers will be again pushing against the northern range. Today, the thunder was heard in most areas here, and of course, just about 2 hours ago, thunderstorms in the area near Maruga and Princestown. Reports on the telephone from public-spirited people. So this is my forecast for tomorrow, tonight. As I said, that cloudiness is going to hang around. And in the 3-day forecast, we're seeing some showers for tomorrow, Friday, and some showers. If you're going to be mixing cement, watch it on Saturday. The morning sunshine, and then during the afternoon, some showers, the possibility of the thunder shower. Clearing. Take a rain check on this one. Clearing could come by Sunday, but I admit I'm a little bit confused. 24-hour forecast, by that 48-hour forecast, I'm not very confident. And the 72-hour forecast, wow, I'm sticking my neck out. This has been the local weathercast.
There is nothing like the taste. It's best. A bear is a Carib.
Well, there was a lot happening weather-wise in Trinidad, Tobago, the Eastern Caribbean, the nearby continent. So we go directly to that large-scale satellite picture. And on that large-scale satellite picture, we're going to be seeing quite a busy chart in the southern part of the Caribbean, the eastern part of the Caribbean. And there's a lovely curve just about here. This means that all this cloudiness, the ITCZ invited northwards by an upper-level disturbance, a favorable curving of the winds, which is located just north of Puerto Rico, and this is why we have all that cloudiness there. So the Lesser Antilles, for the past 2 or 3 days, showers and thunder showers they've been having, and that will persist over the next 24 hours and very likely go into Saturday also. The continent nearby, from Caracas towards Trinidad and down into the coastal Guyanas, again, a similar type forecast. Showers, some thunder showers, mainly during daytime. And this leaves the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. Today, in fact, it was pretty good, but tomorrow something is going to happen. We had forecasts that Jamaica, for instance, will come under some showers. That did not happen because the showers slowed down. It's still going to happen. It's going to come by tomorrow. The system is moving very slowly. And the northern areas, United States, the Gulf of Mexico is very cloudy. Near the Florida Peninsula is very cloudy. We change focus and take a look at the other satellite picture for this area, and we pick up some of this clouding. Very important and significant in the Texas, Louisiana coast, not threatening the east yet. All this cloudiness here is mainly shallow cloud and upper-level cloud. So when we look at the forecast for the next 24 hours, we're going to be seeing down in that area warm. Where did all that cloud go? It's going to hang around, but it's not going to threaten with rain. Near Louisiana, Texas, yes, some rain. A low-pressure area is there. And in the northern region, the frontal system being pushed by a high pressure is going to bring tonight some showers, possibly the thunder shower for Toronto, and in Montreal, some rain. The low-pressure system is moving. New York and Pennsylvania will be in the warm sector area. This is couched between the warm and the cold front. This frontal system is going to drift by, increasing cloudiness tomorrow with some showers, possibly, just possibly, a small chance of a thunder shower in the area of Washington, New York, and Boston. Across the Atlantic, we had forecast 20 degrees for London. It did not happen. 14 degrees with some rain. It's going to rain tonight again. It's going to rain tomorrow. 20 here is very, very optimistic. It could be just a little bit lower. For the Eastern Caribbean and Trinidad and Tobago, we have a lot of cloudiness. A quick review of the Trinidad and Tobago forecast for the next 24 hours. We see the sun peeping after tonight. Cloudiness dissipates, the chance of sun in the morning, and then some showers will develop. Moderate at times. Occasional, we're going to have a torrential thunder shower. There's a good chance some of these thunder showers will be located in northern districts. Tobago, you cannot escape that cloudiness. It's very likely, therefore, that you may have a similar type weather. This has been the Weathercast.
Relieves coughs and colds as effectively as original Tylenol relieves headaches. Its 4 powerful active ingredients relieve runny nose, congestion,
western parts of Trinidad have been having the odd shower, and during the afternoon, mid-afternoon period, the thunder shower. This was the pattern during the weekend. I'm not surprised, therefore, that this fire was able to be set and to catch as it did in the bush area. Let us take a look at our satellite picture today, and we discover why it was so very dry today. The shower was odd, but the afternoon period quite sunny. Let's take a look at this picture. Here it is. Trinidad, Tobago is just about there. No organized cloudiness. We're surprised to see the large area of clearing east and west of us, and also south. So the Guyanas today, just the odd shower in Cayenne and Paramaribo. Other than that, it was pretty good. And nearby Venezuela, quite good. Most of the action is away from us where we have that tropical depression. We'll get on to that in the second part of the weather report later on. But cloudiness to the north doesn't mean much. That cloudiness there is mainly high cloud, upper level cloud, and it is being pushed this way by a wind maximum. Now, we are very interested in this wind maximum since we believe within 48 hours it's going to begin to change things here. But in the immediate 24-hour period, there is very little that we can be talking about. Let us take a look at our 24-hour forecast. And in the 24-hour forecast, we are just saying low-level winds, somewhat moderate on the weak side, if anything. And this will usually produce the shower in the eastern districts just after midnight into early morning, the pre-dawn areas, tapering off by at least 6:30. And then during the daytime, in western districts, look out for the shower. It is possible, just possible, about 20% chance of a torrential thunder shower. Sometimes we are able to say, well, the thunder shower occurred here today, tomorrow it will not occur there, that area is cool, it might occur to the north or to the south. So it's very difficult to locate the exact position that thunder shower could develop. But it's going to be along the west coast if it does appear. Other than that, orographic shower might be in the mode, but we think that there's a very small chance also Tobago, Crown Point, might be reporting a shower during the daytime. In the 3-day forecast, we are saying that tomorrow is going to be generally fair, quite settled except for that shower, the chance of the thunder shower. And by Wednesday, we are believing in fact that something is going to start happening. We see that jet maximum pushing the cirrus cloud to the north. That could play a role in a slight change. So we say mixed Wednesday and Thursday. Today is the first day of the hurricane season. We'll pick that up later. This has been the local weather forecast.
Against damaging ultraviolet rays, that's non-greasy.
We did say earlier that the hurricane season starts today. And if we're going to be naming those hurricanes, we've got to find some names. In any given year, the season will have at least 10 named tropical storms, 6 of which could become hurricanes. Now this year, we'd be looking for the following names. They trickle down to my mouth and I can say them now. Arlene, Brett, Cindy, Dennis. Now these are the first 4. These names were repeated, of course, just 6 years ago. Then we go to Emily, Floyd, Gert, Harvey, Irene, and Jose. 10. Is your name there? Are you destructive? Would you be like Andrew last year? Let us take a look at our large-scale satellite pickup. Pick up the first tropical depression. The first tropical depression of the season. It rushed the season by almost half a day. It's located just around here. Last night in Florida, the southern portions, Dade County, for instance, just over 200 millimeters of rainfall. And that same system was creating rain in Cuba and some tail areas of it right now producing some showers and thunder showers in Jamaica. Notice the tail feeding towards that center. A trough area right here keeping a lot of cloudiness in the central Caribbean. So places from Puerto Rico right back into eastern Cuba will over the next 24 hours experience precipitation and possibly the thunder shower. This leaves the eastern Caribbean under high pressure and pretty good weather, and so to the western Caribbean. By the way, this tropical depression, I pointed out that in its seedling stage in the Bay of Campeche last week and suggested that it was moving away. It did move away. It didn't make a northerly track. It made something like an east-northeasterly track. Anyhow, it's going to be right around now about 1,100 kilometers to the west-southwest of Bermuda, where it should pass tomorrow night, just about maybe 200 or 300 kilometers to the south of the island. Some rain is expected there. Very little chance of any, let's say, intensification of that system is very weak right now. This leaves the southern part of the United States very, very clear. Let us take a look at that area in the next satellite picture. You'll be surprised at the large clearing. In fact, south of 35 degrees north latitude, there is little or no organized cloud. And in the eastern portion, south of maybe 42, 43 degrees latitude, nothing is happening. This large area of high pressure pushing that frontal system off But another frontal system is coming by. This is the warm, and the cold is hanging around here. So today, the last part of this frontal system brought some rain, some showers to Montreal, and some cloudiness to Toronto. Tomorrow in the 24-hour forecast, let's pick that up. By the way, temperatures today would have been like 32 in Florida, Miami. This is after the rain last night. The rain tapered off this morning, and it was only 11 and 12 in Toronto and Montreal. In New York, as high as 24 degrees Celsius. That warm frontal system is moving by. Rain is spreading to the north of the front. There's a lot of what the meteorologists call overrunning, and this means that this area is going to stay under rain for at least 12 to 18 hours, and that rain is spreading right now towards Toronto. I believe Montreal is going to miss most of it. It will eventually, within the next 36 to 48 hours, reach the coast. The high-pressure system is moving out. This leaves cool weather in the south. We expect tomorrow, just near Miami, temperatures to be maybe 28, 29 degrees Celsius, because the winds will be a little bit from the south. Across the Atlantic, it was a day of mixed sunshine and some clouds, but tomorrow a change is forecast. The maximum today was as high as 20, and tomorrow it's only going to be 17. Some precipitation is in the forecast. There's a very good chance this precipitation can taper off during the afternoon by mid-afternoon period. A repeat of the forecast for Trinidad and Tobago. We have no organized weather systems that can produce organized cloudiness around us. And this is why we have been thinking that the fair pattern, I say fair pattern advisedly, because we have been having some showers, and torrential ones at that, in the western parts of Trinidad. But little or no organized cloudiness nearby, so tomorrow what we're expecting is very local conditions to stimulate some shower activity. In the eastern districts, in the period after midnight, just before dawn also, tapering off by 6:30 in the morning, 7 o'clock, and in the rest of the day after the heating, somewhere along the west coastal areas, there is a small chance that Tobago could also experience a shower. As I said, we will have a lot of sunshine in between. The hurricane season started today. This has been the Weathercasts.
Action against damaging ultraviolet rays, that's non-greasy.
With 2 days gone by, June is yet to show its true meteorological face. Usually, you know, June used to be quite wet. It held a record for the wettest month of the year. This record, of course, now goes towards July. We have found that the wet season has shifted just a little bit down into the year. Anyhow, no rain. Nobody's complaining because we have been having some showers recently. Today, 33.1 at Piarco, and mind you, this is the lowest temperature we've had in the past 5 days. It went to 34 during the weekend. So the heat is building up again. And let me show you this satellite picture for the Eastern Caribbean. It seems as if we are still in for a little more heat, because yesterday I did show some cloudiness moving down like this, and I suggested this was due to a jet stream pushing by. Well, imagine a banana being peeled and being pushed from the north. So this is the banana here, and all these would be the skin. The banana is being peeled, so the wind is coming by. This does have some rain in it, spotted rain down below, but no organized thunder showers. Earlier this morning in the northern part of the leeward, there were some thunder showers. This dissipated. And most of the islands would have reported some cloudiness and a little spot of rain. Barbados had some rain by mid-morning. That cleared up. But to the east of us, just east of us there, this is the driest we would have been in several weeks if this air does move across us, and it is starting to move across us. So tomorrow we can look for a temperature of pretty close to 34, maybe 34.2 or 3. And west of us, you'd never believe this. Today, Curacao, for 3 consecutive hours, temperatures above 36 degrees Celsius. Meeting these meteorologists sometimes in conferences, they say, no, you lie, Trinidad never had a 36-degree temperature. They had it today. Well, my forecast for the next 24 hours, you can make this for me. The 24-hour forecast is something similar to what I had yesterday. This morning there was a shower in the northeastern part of Trinidad. We still believe that we have the conditions to stimulate that shower during the early morning. And during the daytime, we saw 1 or 2 showers around today. They were very brief, very brisk, and this could happen again tomorrow. Winds are decidedly from the southeast still, so 1 or 2 of these showers could show up near the northern range. Other than that, dry conditions, quite a lot of low humidity. We are talking tomorrow, expect the humidity to drop below 50%. And for June, this is almost a no-no. In my 3-day forecast, with all that sunshine we are forecasting for tomorrow, it's going to be fair. Friday is fair. This is a change from what we had last night. And by Saturday, conditions could change. Look at this, could change. Maybe it will still be sunny. So give me a rain check for that one. This has been the local Weathercast.
Protection against damaging ultraviolet rays, that's non-greasy.
A good night for astronomy. You can see a gibbous moon, a waxing moon, to be full by Friday morning. And down south over the horizon, there is still a chance to catch a glimpse of the Southern Cross. Let us take a look at the satellite picture, the large-scale satellite picture, and pick up the weather. There are some big surprises on that. Number one, in the area near Curacao, that very, very high temperature today, a heat wave. Temperatures getting up for 3 consecutive hours above 36 degrees Celsius. And number two, a very dry slot of air to the east of us, moving into us, threatening to raise temperatures tomorrow in the 34, maybe 34 point something range. And then over the Lesser Antilles, today some cloudiness, but it was mainly high-level cloud with spots of rain down below. That has drifted out to the west. It's a very good chance, in fact, that if that cloudiness drifts further west, it can break the heat wave occurring 34 also in Maiquetía Airport in that region of the Venezuela and Aruba and Curacao area. You know why those temperatures got so high? Because the air that is moving across that region has a trajectory over the continent, dry air, moving over the water, sinking over the mountains and warming up and then getting out to the islands. Anyhow, further west we see a tremendous breakup of yesterday's cloudiness. Just immediately south of Jamaica, there is a single thunder shower. This is just about all that they had today. Over the Greater Antilles area, we see 1 or 2 spots of white, and that would represent thunderstorms during the afternoon period. They will continue popping up tomorrow during the heat of the day, but generally it is much improved. What about the tropical depression? It's almost no more. It's right around here, just south of the remnants of the debris, the low-pressure area, just south of Bermuda. But the important thing is a very large, cloudy area. All the winds from the Caribbean migrating northward into that area. So focusing the moisture, they're keeping the rains away from most of the Caribbean. And another surprise, Florida Peninsula. Some thunder showers appearing here, the little white spots. That was not in the forecast. And this is caused by a very old frontal system, extremely weak, that followed the depression. In fact, that caused some pouring of cold air into the depression and causes demise. We take a look at the other satellite picture focusing into North America, and surprise again, nothing is happening in the Texas-Mexico area, little or nothing happening in Dixie and down south to pick up those thunder showers, but something is happening near the Pennsylvania-Kentucky area, and this is a low-pressure area. Some cloudiness there on the Appalachian mountain chain, some thunder showers also. That low pressure causing this is going to move towards New York tonight. New York today was pretty dry, and the temperature reached up to 20 degrees Celsius. There was a bit of cloudiness in Toronto, temperature only 18 degrees Celsius, and as low as 10, it was cool, really cool, in partly cloudy skies in Montreal. Let us take a look at the 24-hour forecast. And in the 24-hour forecast, what we find is that that low-pressure area moves off the seaboard, providing the chance of some showers, possibly the thunder shower in Washington, but certainly in New York, the chance of the shower. And then the frontal system itself becomes quasi-stationary, parallel to the latitude, and has a slight drift towards the south. So this is going to keep the weather away from the metropolitan area, Toronto, Montreal, and later in the evening, New York will clear up. Down south, the high dominates, but the little spots indicate that the heating is forecast to produce the single thunder shower here or there. And across the Atlantic, it was a very pleasant day. They have been having some very odd days, but today it was pleasant. There was a little bit of sprinkles in the morning, but during the afternoon period, temperatures cleared up, and the skies cleared up, and temperature reached 18. Tomorrow it's forecast to be 19, and look at this. Some cloudiness, but generally we're going to be having some sunshine around. And this will be the pattern also for Trinidad and Tobago. We expect quite a bit of sunshine. Tonight should be a fair night. Tomorrow morning we still have some moderate east-southeasterly winds, which could produce the showers they produced this morning in the northeastern part of Trinidad, and during the daytime the odd shower here or there, favoring again the west coast area. The winds could be hitting the mountains and stimulating what we call the orographic shower. It could be hot tomorrow, remember that. Not very strong breezes in the offing. This has been the International Weathercast.
Carib is truly bear at its best. A bear is a Carib.
Well, so far this week we have had reasonably friendly, very benign weather. And why not? This is the beginning of the rainy season, and we expect this type of character to persist. Long spells of really nice weather, then it's going to come on heavily again. You know, since the 27th of last month, I think this was last week, Thursday, we had widespread rainfall. And since then, no, we've had some west coast showers and thunder showers. Let us take a look at today's satellite picture and see why today, little or no shower activity, quite a lot of sunshine, maximum temperature 31 degrees Celsius. And this is why. There is little or no organized cloudiness around. We have a separation of the equatorial cloudiness from the frontal band to the north. This frontal band is dissipating. Very little chance as we get on into June that any one of these can slip into the Caribbean. So we're going to keep those guys up there. But we're expecting something to happen down here. It's going to happen very slowly. That is, the ITCZ now residing in the overland areas should begin to move up. Now, not in 24 hours, possibly not even in 48 hours. By Sunday afternoon, Monday morning, we'll get a hold on it. In the meantime, this dry regime here is what is going to dominate our weekend. Some spots of cloudiness between Tobago and Grenada and Barbados. An old shale line which is right now dissipating, produced some rainfall today in Barbados. Most of the Antilles quite clear. Nearby Venezuela, quite clear. In fact, too clear. The sunshine is really coming down here, and this area is going to heat up over the next 24 hours, 48 hours, and we expect cloudiness to approach like that. Until that happens, let's hear what 24-hour forecast. It's Saturday, it's a big weekend coming up, and we hardly have had any changes in this weather map over the past several days. You know why? Because things are not changing. So we had this morning and yesterday morning and the morning before a few showers in the northeastern part of Trinidad. We expect that to continue tomorrow, early in the morning in fact. And during the daytime, the chance of the shower in West Coast. Now, winds are slowing down. This means that the west coastal areas tomorrow could really see a heavier shower and possibly a thunder shower. This is going to be from around noon to about 3 o'clock. Northern range, it seems as it's going to be quiet because the winds which are southeasterly over the past several days have now gone from the east. And this is a change. This is a big change. In the 3-day forecast for the next 3 days, we call tomorrow's weather, the chance of the shower is mainly fair, and by Sunday, if that trough begins to develop and bring up the ITCZ, conditions could turn out to be mixed. Not in the morning spell, they're in the afternoon and into the night. And Monday, we should see some more rainfall. This has been the local weather forecast.
Protect your skin daily with Johnson's Body Milk UV12, the everyday moisturizer and sunscreen in one. Protection against damaging ultraviolet rays that's non-greasy.
Well, outside right now, the skies are clear, and hugging the limelight, as it were, is that big, beautiful golden orb full earlier today, the moon, the full moon. And you know, the full moon of June, by many names people know it. The strawberry moon, the rose moon, even the flower moon, and to many people who have had the experience or planning the experience, the honeymoon. Anyhow, so much for the moon. This is still a weather report. Outside conditions are good. They were lovely today. And let us take a look at our large-scale satellite picture. On the large-scale satellite picture, we see little or no organized cloudiness in the Lesser Antilles area, some spots just near the southern windward, and that would represent a little shale line that is right now dissipating, provided a couple showers to Barbados and to St. Lucia, St. Vincent area. That, by tomorrow, will be gone. And in fact, in the northern sections, there is still a boundary here, an old frontal boundary. This, by the way, you can call it loosely if you want, the tail of tropical depression number 1, which started just near the Isle of Youth here and raced by, lost its tropical characteristics, became extratropical, and is now no more. But the cloud debris continues to hang around. Little or no chance that will slip into the Caribbean. So most of the greater Antilles under spotted cloudiness. This represents the daytime convection, as we call it. 1 or 2 thunder showers are forecast for most of these islands tomorrow, Jamaica included. Down south, we have little or no activity near Caracas and Maiquetía Airport, and in the Guyana, some showers and thunder showers showing up right now in Cayenne and also in Paramaribo, could very well reach tomorrow as far as Georgetown. Still further north, the Bahamas, 1 or 2 white spots, and they represent single thunder showers, and we pick up 1 or 2 of those also near Key West and the Florida Peninsula. These areas continue to experience the heat, and 1 or 2 showers and thunder showers could develop. That's the forecast. For North America, we change focus and we take a look at a very large area of severe thunder showers. They're producing just near the Appalachians, the Ohio Valley, right down to the mountains, up to 75 millimeters of rain forecast. Now, this is a frontal system. We can pick up a little comma here. A front is racing very swiftly by. We'll meet this warm sector area and take it over the next 24 hours outside. Let us take a look at that forecast for the next 24 hours. The forecast for the next 24 hours will suggest that this frontal system, well, I didn't see it yet, forecast, here it is, this frontal system will race by. Today it produced a lot of rainfall from Tennessee right into the Great Lakes area. It is racing, as I'm saying, as it gets by just about on parallel in 24 hours to the Appalachian mountain chain. There will be ahead of it a series of thunder showers, very torrential thunder showers. On the peninsula down south, located still, will be one or two, the sea breeze effect, we call this one now. The Atlantic moisture is coming by. As it does that, it creates a few thunder showers, mainly during the afternoon and evening period. So that's the forecast. So down here in the upper part, we find that New York is going to come under some cloudiness. There is a chance of the shower. And Washington, Baltimore, Philadelphia, the chance of the thunder shower. Toronto, tonight, the chance of some showers, clearing tomorrow. Montreal is going to be away from this. With this high-pressure system located here, winds will be somewhat from the north. It's going to be very cool. And for some of the temperatures they have been having recently, that should be pleasant. Across the Atlantic, 22 was the maximum today in London. That is the same maximum in New York. But London and most of the United Kingdom, they had a few sprinkles. Tomorrow, however, look at this. Lovely sunshine forecast. And something similar is forecast for most of the Lesser Antilles. With Trinidad and Tobago, a repeat of that forecast, we are suggesting that there is no big change coming on in the next 24 hours. Our forecast continues to indicate that in eastern and northeastern areas in the morning, we can see the odd shower. This will not last very long. The sun will come out. It will be very, very bright. Today, the maximum is 33. Look out tomorrow for 33 or 34. And during the daytime, the odd shower, mainly along the west coast, there is a chance of an isolated thunder shower because the wind system has gone from the east to the west now and has weakened just a little bit. As an outlook for Sunday, a change could come.
You can count on.
Well, we're still looking for that rainy season which we lost last week. In fact, over the past 12 days, we have only had just 2 or 3 millimeters of rain. Instead, we have had a lot of sunshine. During the weekend, we saw some of the sunshine. On Saturday, we had some showers. Well, those showers were just run-of-the-mill showers, not accumulating much. Yesterday, bright and sunny. Today, very bright, very sunny, very hot, 33.4 degrees Celsius. And where you were, if you found it was hotter, yes, I believe that. 34 degrees Celsius is the likelihood. Anyhow, let us take a look at the satellite picture for the Eastern Caribbean. In that satellite picture, I have no hope looking to the east of us of anything coming immediately in the next 24 to 48 hours even. That bit of cloudiness located just at the curve of our picture there is cloudiness which is receding, going towards the east, an upper-level system. That was the wish I was talking about last week. If this were to be located just around here, then the ITCZ would migrate northwards and flare up. This did not happen. So we lost a good opportunity there. The ITCZ is providing showers and thunder showers for the Guyanas, little or nothing to the east of us, little or nothing to the north yet. We do have a weather system. This is some distance away. It's an upper-level feature which is beginning to drift there. And if anything, this can affect us after 48 hours. So my forecast with all this clear area there for the next 24 hours suggests that in the morning we're going to have a shower in the eastern districts. We had 1 or 2 of those this morning. In fact, in the western districts, you notice this time I'm not carrying precipitation. We have found that the moisture profile today is just about 2/3 of what it was last week. So the atmosphere is very, very dry. The driest it has been for the past 7 weeks, in fact. And this means quite a bit of sunshine with some dust is still in the forecast for the next 24 hours. But in my 3-day forecast, I see it's fair tomorrow. This should continue into Wednesday. And by the way, Thursday, there's a holiday coming up. What holiday is that? I don't know, but they expect a tropical wave and the upper-level system to come by, and that can change the weather pattern. I wonder if they're going to be planting anything on Thursday. This has been the local weather forecast.
There is nothing. A bear is a Carib.
One brand of maxi pads is chosen by more women every day. Because you put us there. Stay Free maxi pads. Protection you can count on.
It's relatively clear outside. The temperature is 27.2 degrees Celsius and the relative humidity is 77%. There's a light wind drift from the east. In fact, one of the features of last week's weather was a southeasterly wind. This weekend, we found that the winds went back from the east, and this is a good sign. Still, they're not bringing any moisture towards us. We indicated earlier it was very, very dry. And let us take a look at our large-scale satellite picture. On the large-scale satellite picture, we want to start down in the Guyanas. In the region of the Guyanas, there is quite a lot of cloudiness, and today the Timeri Airport near Georgetown reported a few thunder showers. It was a generally wet day for them, but in Cayenne and also in Paramaribo, conditions are just a bit better. They still expect some showers there because the ITCZ cloud band is occupying that region. And it is supposed to have come up, but it didn't come up to the Windward Islands today. Little or no cloudiness, quite a lot of sunshine for most of the islands. In fact, even into the leewards, although we see some cloudiness encroaching in that region, it is still relatively stable. Most of that cloudiness is upper-level cloudiness. Conditions will, however, change within the next 18 to 36 hours as this upper-level system begins to come into that region, providing some moisture, and the shower or the thunder shower is forecast for late tomorrow into tomorrow night. Near Curacao, surprise again, they had, remember that heat wave last week? Well, there is a chance that they could be getting some precipitation out of this. Cloudiness migrating from the continent towards Curacao. This leaves the western part of the Caribbean with little or no organized cloudiness because this Haiti is away from it. Hispaniola is still with some showers, and Puerto Rico, the chance of the thunder shower. Cuba itself, little or nothing is happening there. We see little spots, and that would represent the daytime thunderstorm popping up. It will clear tonight, repeat again tomorrow. Jamaica, significantly, is to the north of a bit of cloudiness belonging to the same system. The chance of this moving northward, very, very small. In fact, it is going to progress towards the east. If that happens, they should not have a repeat of the rains they have been having for quite a while. And we take up the rest of the weather in North America. The Florida Peninsula was not bad, but look at this one single thunder shower just over the water, and that area is going to repeat tomorrow with the odd thunder shower here or there. Miami today, by the way, temperature was 32. It was 20 in Montreal, 23 in Toronto, and as high as 27 in New York. This system is coming by. It has a lot of showers and thunder showers. Let us take a look at that in the 24-hour forecast, And we see the warm front is just on Toronto in 24 hours, meaning that showers will move from the south. There's going to be some rain, the chance of the thunder shower. And that's the same forecast for areas like Washington, Baltimore, and Philadelphia. But in Boston and New York, there is just a chance that the shower could reach them in 24 hours. North of that, Montreal is away from it. Down south, just a repeat of that isolated thunder shower. Across the Atlantic was very nice today in London, and the temperature reached a high 26. Look at the forecast for tomorrow. Some sunshine with a high again of 26. A repeat of the Trinidad and Tobago forecast. We have little or nothing around. So in the Eastern Caribbean over the next 24 hours, it's very likely we're going to have a clear night for most of the islands, like Trinidad and Tobago. And tomorrow during the daytime, early morning first, we have the chance of the shower along the east coastal districts. But the rest of the day, I see quite a lot of sunshine. This has been the International Weathercast.
Tonight's International...
Tylenol Cold. Tylenol Cold, the fast and effective name in cold relief. Also in a no drowsiness formula.
Well, we had the conditions we forecast today, and I'm sorry about that, because really we have been forecasting sun. There was one shower. If you wanted to really be in that shower and get the benefit of that shower, you would have had to be up well before dawn and be somewhere along the east coast, because in Valencia it was moderate, in Arima it was moderate. When it reached the Tacarigua area near the northern range, it tapered off. There were one or two showers just around that period. This is dawn and just after dawn, but that was it. Sunshine during the day. Dusty, hazy, windy, extremely windy at times, and the temperature 33 degrees Celsius. What is in store for us? We still invite you to go with us to that satellite picture for the Eastern Caribbean. And it seems as if we have less clouds out here than we had yesterday, because yesterday the ITCZ cloud band was a bit closer up towards us. And also in the northern parts of the Lesser Antilles, we had cloudiness actually into the northern leewards. Today, that has spread out a little bit, and spreading out is a bad sign. It means that all around here we still have very, very dry air. We have little or no hope of significant rainfall, and by significant rainfall I mean moderate to heavy showers in a widespread basis. We have some cloudiness to the central part of the Caribbean Sea. This, as I expressed, the hope that this maybe within 48 hours and thereafter could affect our conditions. There's very little hope that that can happen now. We have a very weak tropical wave that is not showing up in the cloud pattern here, but the wind is oscillating coming by, and that is the little hope. I made a little joke last night about the holiday, and I didn't want to know much about the holiday because I know the holiday is linked with some sort of weather law and folklore planting on Corpus Christi. I didn't want the weather report or the weatherman himself to be drawn into any type of controversy about what type of weather we're going to be forecasting for that day. In the meantime, I'm sticking to my forecast which I had yesterday. We still have those strong winds. The east part of the island should experience that morning shower, and then the rest of the day, sunshine. There is one chance that near the northern range during the daytime, the heating and the wind breathing on the hills could produce the odd shower. In the 3-day forecast, we're sticking to something that we had yesterday, and on the holiday, it doesn't look as if we're going to be getting significant rainfall. Fair Wednesday, fair on Thursday. By Friday, that upper level trough which we have in the western part of the Caribbean could come into us. If that does happen, we could get some showers. In the meantime, this has been the Weathercast.
There is nothing like the taste of Caribbean. A bear is a Carib.
Well, clear skies exist outside, and what is surprising is that there is still a wind reaching from the east at 15 kilometers per hour. Now, just in the eastern Caribbean, at a height of about 3 or 4 kilometers, there is a wind, a band of winds, which reach up to storm strength. And this is one of the major reasons why clouds cannot build beyond that point they've been sheared off. Let us take a look at our large-scale satellite picture, and we pick up this very clear area to the east of us. Those winds are blowing by here, snuffing out what we call convection or cumulus cloud growth. But it is not doing that yet in the central Caribbean. So this area here, still some congestion in the winds, and there is cloud, quite a lot of cloud, but not all of it is rain. Some of this here is upper level cloud, middle level cloud. Here and there, there are spots whiter than some, and we can locate in those areas some heavy rainfall. This system is not moving. In fact, yesterday, this area of cloudiness was located here. It has retrogressed, as we say. It has moved to the west. This is bad news for us because this was the system we were hoping that was going to come by and cause a change in the fair pattern we have in the Lesser Antilles and Trinidad and Tobago. That pattern is not going to change for at least 24 to 36 hours, and the ITCZ is remaining in the Guyanas, giving them showers. Near Caracas, it's very, very dry. Most of northern Venezuela was sunny today, and it's expected to stay like that tomorrow. The central portion of the Caribbean and the Greater Antilles, we expect some showers and thunder showers. Near Cuba, this here represents a heat sprout. The heat and the cloudiness builds up, so it was just one single thunder shower south of Havana. That will disappear. Tomorrow there's going to be a repeat. And in North America, we see quite a lot of cloudiness in the central portions, just west of the Mississippi River. The cold front, believe you me, is just around here. And this cloudiness is forming ahead of the cold front. This is tornadic. There were dozens of tornadoes around here last night and this morning, and some more still expected. We take a look in the Dakotas and look at this beautiful spiral here, an upper level system associated with the cold front and the warm front. The warm front today providing quite a few showers and thunder showers from just around New Jersey right into Ontario. And across the Great Lakes, there's quite a lot of cloudiness. So Toronto today had showers, thunder showers, fog, you call it, they had it, drizzle also. And tomorrow, what are they going to be having? They're going to be having a repeat, showers and thunder showers. The warm sector of this complex is very, very unstable. And there is a chance we can pick up some showers also in New York, in Boston. And further north, there's a chance that Montreal, which is cloudy today with a temperature of 20, could also be showery tomorrow. This warm front is moving north, warm air is moving from the south, and the temperature of 26 as a maximum in New York today could look like near 30. Down south, little or nothing has been happening. The peninsula could have the thunder shower. Miami was at 32 today. Tomorrow, 32 or 33 is the maximum temperature forecast. Across the Atlantic, we are surprised in London. The temperature forecast was 26. It reached 28.5, and that temperature is something that we might have here around 8 o'clock on mornings. It was that warm. And tomorrow, there's a little bit of cloud forecast. You can see some cloudiness here, but the temperature 26 could just be about 24 tomorrow. No rain is forecast. There is a very small chance of an isolated thunder shower, they say, and hail is likely from that, but not a lot of rainfall. A repeat of our forecast for Trinidad and Tobago over the next 24 hours is still very likely. We can pick up that shower in eastern districts of Trinidad during the pre-dawn period, and just after dawn it wouldn't last very long, and with little or no organized cloudiness. We are forecasting again quite a lot of sunshine. It's going to be a breezy day. It's going to be a hazy day. We don't see a lot of rain tomorrow. In fact, we don't see a lot of rain for nearly 3 or 4 days. This has been the Weathercast. It's pretty quiet outside now. We have some cloud around, but it's not rain-producing cloud. However, earlier today, we had 1 or 2 moderate showers, and last night, well, we had some rain. No doubt about that. I'm a little bit surprised that the extreme south parts of Trinidad did not have rain. However, when we got our satellite pictures and we recognized where the rain cloud band has been, then we were convinced. Let us take a look at the Eastern Caribbean satellite picture and look at this. Trinidad and Tobago out in the near clear spot here. Tobago in some of the cloudiness, yes, but most of the Lesser Antilles in a significant area of cloudiness, a very large area of cloudiness. And look at this. The ITCZ cloud band pushing to the north of us, going through to Tobago, into St. Lucia, right up to the north, Barbados in that. And this is a little record for the second time in the rainy season, which has been a stop-and-go rainy season. The ITCZ has migrated to the north of Trinidad. It produced some rainfall here yesterday. Well, what's in store for us? We have a dry slot to the southeast of us. We have a very weak band of cloud, that is the ITCZ. Quite a lot of cloudiness in the continent, and quite a bit of cloudiness in the north. Well, what will happen? We expect most of this cloudiness to begin to dissipate. It produces showers and thunder showers over most of the island. It has been quite wet in some of those areas. But in our little area here, something is happening just in that clear zone. A tropical wave is moving by. It is expected to come on. So the unstable weather to the north, unstable weather to the southwest, and some unstable weather to the southeast, my forecast will indicate over the next 24 hours, we will continue to have an unsettled period, meaning showers now and then. In the morning, for instance, we have some low-level winds which reach up at right now 35 to 45 kilometers per hour, and they will stimulate some showers during the nighttime, nocturnally, very light, towards morning, a little bit heavier in eastern districts. And during the daytime, if those winds do begin to decrease, then we expect slowing down will produce some thunder showers in the western districts. These thunder showers could locate themselves over one particular area and give some really heavy rainfall. Other than that, we expect clear zones to exist over Trinidad. Tobago, I believe you're going to be getting a shower also. And in the 24 to 48 and even 72-hour period, our thinking is this. We're going to consider tomorrow a mixture of clouds and sunshine. The unsettled weather should persist into Wednesday, when the tropical wave, which is coming by, will continue to affect us. And by Thursday, there is going to be some let-up. There is going to be a break, and we should see a little more sunshine. This has been very heavy rainfall is falling in some islands of the Eastern Caribbean. In fact, the weather system which affected us during the weekend has merged with another weather system in the northern part of the island chain, and it's really roughing up the area there. Rainfall during the weekend in Trinidad here, total only 12.5 millimeters of rainfall, but we expect in some areas around Trinidad, rainfall would have been twice, probably 3 times that amount. As it stands now, we have measured just over 60 millimeters for the month of June, and that is a long, long way from what we're supposed to have. We're supposed to have by now just over 100 millimeters, so we are in still for some rainy period. Let us take a look at our large-scale satellite picture and see the weather system which is affecting the Lesser Antilles. There it is right there. You can see the island chain printed over the cloud pattern, and that area of cloudiness is being stimulated by upper-level winds, high-level winds, and low pressures in the lower sections of the atmosphere. What is going to happen over the next 24 hours is that the upper-level winds are moving like that, and the moisture zone is moving like this. So this will stretch off. As it stretches off, we expect some breaking up. In the meantime, however, tonight will continue quite rainy there with some thunder showers, and tomorrow this will be the start of the day again. We're going to have some showers and thunder showers improving during the end of the day. By the day after, it should be gone. In the Greater Antilles area, we see some cloudiness, not a lot of rain in that. This is the jet stream blowing some air again in this direction and stimulating the odd thunder shower down below. This will begin to disappear in the next 24 hours, and we see see another area of cloudiness created by the same features operating in the Lesser Antilles. This one, however, is also right now beginning to dissipate. All the white there represents very, very high cloud. So Jamaica has been on the edge of this, and they expect the shower, the thunder shower, out of the instability close by. Cuba is just about out of it. Showers in the southeastern portions will dissipate tomorrow. In Florida, in fact, let's take a look at the other satellite picture for this region. And in Florida, we can pick up some white spots. Those white spots represent isolated thunder showers. An old frontal band went through there. It is moving down south. There was a touch of rain today in Miami. The temperature after the rain got up to 31. And we take a look up the coast. It's clear. In fact, today it was quite sunny. We were surprised at the temperature in Montreal. Montreal reached 28 degrees Celsius, and this is just 2 degrees lower than what we had as a third maximum today in Trinidad. 26 in sunny skies in Toronto and 28 in New York. There is a frontal system right here. We can pick up some of the cloudiness in Ohio and in Indiana, stretching way back in Ontario. In the 24-hour forecast, that frontal system is going to move towards the coast. Before it does that, it's going to give some showers and thunder showers to Toronto and also Montreal. And late in the evening tomorrow, we expect Boston, Philadelphia, and New York to increase in cloudiness. There is a chance of showers and thunder showers tomorrow afternoon late and in the evening, probably into the morning period of the following day. The frontal system is not very active in the southern portion. You could have seen all that white here. So as it moves by, cold air behind that will lower temperatures by Wednesday. Down south, thunder showers persisting as that cloud band is not going to disappear so very easily. And across the Atlantic, it was a dull day in some portion. There was some rain, isolated showers, some thunder showers, but look at it for tomorrow. Tomorrow the forecast is for quite a bit of sunshine. The temperature today 18 and tomorrow forecast to be 19. We repeat our forecast for Trinidad and Tobago. Number one, we of course on the southern edge of all that cloudiness from the Lesser Antilles. We expect the cloudiness to begin to break up over the next 24 hours. But before it does so, we here have to cater for the adjacent instability. And that means we could still see some showers in the east in the morning. During the nighttime tonight, the possibility of a light rain or some showers. And tomorrow, look out for the isolated thunder shower favoring west coast districts. Tobago, I think you also should pick up a shower or two. In fact, Tobago is a reasonably pleasant day. It was dry at times, but in the pre-dawn period, a couple of showers in eastern districts. We forecast that. Then later in the day, we had some very quick showers by mid-afternoon. Right now, I have no doubt that maybe there is a lingering shower in the eastern districts. The atmosphere can sustain that. Radar photos during the afternoon, in fact, did indicate that clouds are building in height. So I want to go right away to the satellite picture for the region and show why this is happening. Something is coming by. We did indicate yesterday, just out on the edge there was a tropical wave moving in. That is happening. Trinidad is located here, Tobago just about there. There is some cloudiness. With this cloudiness, in fact, there is a little heavy shower, I'd say, exactly midway in the Galleon's Passage between Trinidad and Tobago. But I'm concerned about the location of that cloudiness. If that does come in, it has a lot of shower activity in it, but we believe that most of it will dissipate before it reaches us. There is one little but, and that little but is in the satellite picture. In this direction, coming from the northwest, there is a band of cloud here which indicates to us that there is a wind maximum in the higher levels of the atmosphere. If that passes just to the south of Trinidad, and we believe it will do that starting tonight, if that does happen, then it will amplify this weather system which is coming from the east. Amplification will mean that we can have a little more activity than we thought at first. So it seems as if in the next 24 hours, with the ITCZ being activated by systems aloft and by the tropical wave, we could be in for a day that is significantly different from this very pleasant day today. Let us take a look at that 24-hour period. And in the 24 hours, we indicate again, we're going to get some showers during the morning period. Isolated shower or thunder shower is in the offing. You see these bits of sun peeking behind the cloud here? That could change very significantly if that wind maximum stimulates the weather which is coming in, and we could get a quite wet day. It could be mixed tomorrow. We believe now forecasting becomes very difficult by Thursday because these weather systems have a habit of remaining around for 28 hours, 30 hours, and if that does happen, it can encroach into Thursday. Improvement is forecast by Friday. Another tropical wave is coming by that can change weather conditions, which will be fairer by Friday, into a wet Saturday as a long-term outlook. This has been the local weather forecast.
Tylenol Cold. It relieves coughs and colds as effectively as original Tylenol relieves headaches. It's four powerful...
And whereas we have no tropical disturbances or tropical systems that we are looking at very closely in our hurricane basin, in the nearby Pacific, in the eastern Pacific, there is the first hurricane. It's called Adrian. It's right now about 1,000 miles to the west-southwest of the coast of Mexico. So it's good for them. It's out in the open. We don't want that to happen here. Let us take a look at our large-scale satellite picture and pick up some of the weather in the eastern Caribbean. First, what happened yesterday. In this general area, there was a very large cloud mass. We did forecast that that was going to stretch out, and as it was going to stretch out, it was going to weaken, and exactly that happened. The system has almost completely dissipated. Another one is starting to build in, and these winds here indicate some northwesterly winds in the upper levels of the atmosphere, and that could create tomorrow, in the leewards mainly, some showers, possibly also the thunder shower. Weather systems coming into the east and southeast of Trinidad could also involve the Windward Islands tomorrow, and they may also pick up a few showers, as is the case, of course, of Trinidad and Tobago. In the central Caribbean, a lot more cloudiness, but most of this cloudiness here will be blow-off from convection by the upper-level winds. So all of this cloudiness here will be mainly high-level cloud, not rain-producing. The odd shower is forecast for most of the greater Antilles chain. I'm a bit surprised that we still have this big mass of cloudiness maintaining itself here. It was forecast to dissipate in 24 hours. It did not. It is still maintaining, it is kicking, and it is forecast now to dissipate within the next 24 hours. That can happen because conditions are unfavorable now to generate much rainfall there. Jamaica today had quite a lot of cloudiness out of this, the blow-off, but no precipitation, and that is the forecast for tomorrow. The chance of the shower in the afternoon, but nothing very well organized. In the Bahamas, again, cloudiness. This old frontal system still causing some problems here. It caused some thunder showers this afternoon in Miami. Let us change our focus, get the other satellite picture, and we see those thunderstorms at the tip of the Florida Peninsula. So Miami this morning was sunny. During the afternoon, a series of thunderstorms, and the maximum temperature was only 30 degrees Celsius. There was another system we were following, and this would be that frontal system weak in the middle portions and becoming flat with the latitude here. And this area still has some showers and also thunder showers located in Alabama and Georgia. The middle sections, I said, will have nothing. And conditions today in New York, at first it was very sunny. Temperatures reached 28 degrees Celsius. But it has been raining all the time, most of the day in Montreal. Temperatures there just about 23. And it rained and then became quite sunny in Toronto. Some clouds lagging back here could pass over Toronto tonight. Toronto was 28 degrees Celsius. That's warm. In the 24-hour forecast for the North American continent, on the East Coast, we see that front is slipping by. There is a chance as it does that tonight. New York and also Boston could experience a shower, a thunder shower, clearing up before morning, and then the front in 12 hours after that will definitely be over the Gulf Stream there. The high-pressure system is going to dominate. But temperatures, for instance, right here in the Michigan Peninsula, during the daytime, maximum only between 12 and 15 degrees Celsius. So there is some cool air following with this high-pressure system. So tomorrow temperatures will be in the lower 20s in New York. Down in the south, the peninsula, still some very unsettled weather. Thunder showers are forecast. And across the Atlantic, it was not a bad day. In fact, in London, temperatures shot up to about 2 or 3 degrees higher than we had forecast. At 21, we had forecast on 18. Tomorrow, you see some more clouds, very little sunshine. It was pretty good today. Some rain is spreading from the north. There is a chance that they can experience some of this precipitation in London after mid-morning into the mid-afternoon period. Not a lot of it, but some of it. And temperatures tomorrow, remember, on the up and up. They had a heat wave there last week. We also have been having something of a heat wave, but recently temperatures have been down. Today, only 32 degrees Celsius. I described it as pleasant. Some cloudiness is coming by, and we can begin to see some showers, possibly also the thunder shower. There is a very good chance it could turn out to be a wet day. We are using the word chance. However, it might be just a few showers here and there with that thunder shower. Well, we did warn that today it could have turned out wet, and it did turn out wet in some parts. We estimate that rainfall amounts would have varied between 5 millimeters, which we recorded at the airport, and about 15 to 20 millimeters in some of those very heavy showers and isolated thunder showers, which we knew would be experienced in Trinidad and also in Tobago. You know, the weather conditions reach right up to Grenada. Right now, it has quietened down a little bit, and we have mainly some low cloud and some medium cloud still in the central and southern portions. As I was coming down to the studio, I could have recognized some rainfall still persisting. This would taper off with the evening. It seems as if we're going to have a pretty quiet night. Let us take a look at the Eastern Caribbean satellite picture, and this picture very much resembles yesterday's picture in that the cloud system remains just about in the same place. We have clouds from Trinidad and to the east of us. There is still an upper level system activating the ITCZ, and the tropical wave is still threatening to come by. So it seems as if in the daytime tomorrow we might experience some cloudiness. If I were to put it like this, we had some wet conditions today. Here and there it was much brighter, not sunny, but brighter. And tonight and tomorrow we expect that the weather is going to persist, but not with the same intensity. What we have recognized is that the upper level system is tending to move towards the east. As that is happening, and the ITCZ tropical wave tending to move towards the west, there is going to be a separation. The exact time when the system will separate, stretch, and weaken is not really something that we can pinpoint right now. So my forecast for tomorrow over the next 24 hours will indicate that we're going to continue seeing some precipitation. There is a chance tonight of some lingering rain, not heavy. Last night, I know in places like Rio Claro would have experienced a very heavy thundershower and some gusty winds. I do hope there was no damage resulting from those winds. The winds are weakening just a little bit. Yet, if they do weaken considerably, we can pick up that thundershower. So there is a strong chance of the isolated thundershower. And we want to play this up, showers here and there, in between breaks. Now, will the sun shine tomorrow? There's a very good chance it will as the system weakens. And in my 3-day forecast, I'm going to be saying that tomorrow, look out for the shower, the thundershower, with the breaks, of course. Tomorrow and Friday, there's still a chance that the system could be lingering as it weakens. But the best bet for any significant change will be later on Friday, because by Saturday, we expect the next tropical wave to come by. And when that does happen, it could just spoil the weekend. If you're planning for the weekend activity, do take some precautions. By the way, I saw a car skid off the road today. I'm sure that that guy had inner tubes as tires. I could have been there, my kids. And one or two tall clouds, which is again a surprise at this time of the day. We have no organized weather system nearby. We saw a couple of showers. Not much is going on outside right now. It seems as if we have some dusty Saharan aerosol, and there are still 1 or 2 showers, tall clouds hanging around. This is a surprise because we have no organized weather system to create rainfall. Today was a mixed day. We had some cloudiness, we had some rainfall. I don't know what it announced, but I can announce, of course, that today is the first day of summer in the northern hemisphere. This morning at exactly 5 a.m. local time, the sun is in apparent journey northwards of the equator would have been directly overhead at the Tropic of Cancer. And this, of course, officially announces the summer. But for us here, what does it mean? Rainy season is here, and it is not a very productive rainy season yet. We still have a far way to go. Look at this satellite picture. It doesn't show any promise for a lot of rainfall, and we still have 9 days in June. We have just nearly 180 millimeters of rainfall. Can we make it? What about tomorrow? Is there a chance? Well, we have some cloudiness way down to the southeast, and this cloudiness is going to take at least 1 day to reach us. Will it reach us? No, I believe not in 1 day. Cloudiness to the west of us over the mainland, there is very little chance that that can affect our weather over the next 24 hours. This area of cloudiness here is moving to the west, and this very large area of cloudiness near Jamaica and the Greater Antilles will not approach us for at least 60 hours. So this is the clear area here which we must negotiate over the next 24 hours. There are some spots, a little bit of dirt in the satellite picture, and this means that the easterly winds, the brisk easterly winds, which are still too brisk for our comfort, in fact, we have too many strong winds, and this is what is causing the rainy season not to be the rainy season really yet. Let us take a look at our forecast for tomorrow. We suggest that we're going to be having mixed conditions. That is a shower here, a shower there, the possibility of a local thunder shower when temperatures get up to about 32, 33. And in between, quite a bit of sunshine. During nighttime tonight, we can pick up 1 or 2 brisk nocturnal tropical trade wind type showers. So many adjectives I must keep using. And in my 3-day forecast, I consider tomorrow to be a mixed day in our forecast, and this will continue by Wednesday. Then on Thursday, we expect a tropical wave with some potential for heavy showers to come by. This has been the Weathercast.
There is nothing like the taste of Caribbear. Brewed to perfection right here in TNT. Carib is the truly beer at its best. A bear is a Carib.
But it's very stable outside now. It doesn't look like the rainy season really. Today we had a couple of showers locally, and up the Lesser Antilles the pattern was a very similar one. Let us take a look at our large-scale satellite picture, and it is not so very easy for the people in the central part of the Caribbean in the Greater Antilles area. Out in the Lesser Antilles, pretty good. But then look at this very large area of cloudiness stretching from Panama in the south right through the Greater Antilles. We could locate right on the map here Jamaica and Hispaniola, and this north-south orientation takes the cloudiness pointing almost towards Cape Hatteras. This here is maintained by a system in the upper levels of the atmosphere, a high-level cyclone. It is an area of low pressure, and usually does this to the tropical cloudiness. Although a tropical wave came in here, most of the cloudiness is not due to that tropical wave. This leaves very little action in the Lesser Antilles, so 1 or 2 trade wind type showers would be the forecast for the next 24 hours. To the east of the Lesser Antilles, not much is happening, and it means that the conditions will remain reasonably stable for at least 2 days, 3 days. Down in the south, near the Guyanas, there is some activity. The ITCZ cloud band is very active. It has showers and thunder showers, so this will be brushing the coast, and places like Timeri, Paramaribo, and Cayenne should experience that over the next 24 hours. Just near Curacao, there is some cloudiness, and this cloudiness again could stimulate some shower activity, also similar for Caracas. Now, in the Western Caribbean, this system is not expected to move significantly for at least 12 to 24 hours, and then the upper-level cyclone will lift off. As it does that, there should be some dissipation. In the meantime, showers and thunder showers are forecast for eastern Jamaica. Remember, they had some floods over the past several months, and also for Haiti, rain, very heavy rains there. The eastern part of Cuba. The western portions of Cuba should stay reasonably stable. There is no chance of any organized rainfall there. We take a look right outside here near Brownsville in the western portions of the Gulf of Mexico, and that there is the debris from the season's first tropical storm of our hurricane basin. It developed during the weekend. It was a tropical depression on Friday, and right now it is just a rain area. It is forecast to produce quite a bit of rain in this general area still. It is almost, as it were now, the tail section of a frontal system which runs almost parallel to the seaboard. This between the Appalachian Mountains and the seaboard is producing showers and thunder showers over most areas. The peninsula is quite clear. Today, this area of cloudiness here is high-level cloud. There was some sun just near New York and into Washington and Baltimore. This frontal system is expected to pass through that area tonight. Toronto, the last report we had, it was raining very lightly, and it has rained quite a bit in Montreal. The forecast for the next 24 hours indicates that this system is moving out. The showers will begin to let up. There is a second portion, a very weak front, which should not create many problems. Down in the south, right into Dixie and into the Brownsville area, look out for showers, thunder showers also on the Florida Peninsula. And across the Atlantic, the temperature today in partly sunny skies was pretty high. It was going to be 22 tomorrow. Today was 19, and sun is also forecast for tomorrow. Our local forecast for Trinidad and Tobago, not much is happening, and over the next 24 hours, we expect Trinidad and Tobago to be mixed. Tonight, look out for some nocturnal showers. Tomorrow, some sunshine. Well, we saw some of those brisk showers we called for, especially after midnight into the mid-morning period, and then during the afternoon, the sun came out, and yet the skies were just a little bit dirty. The horizons were turbid with Sahara dust. This Sahara dust is a nuisance. When we have the sprinkly type shower, you just wash your car, and there is the dust piled up on your car, and you go wipe it, and you streak across the polish. Well, don't do that. Just wash it off. But it is really becoming a nuisance. Right now, outside, the visibility is just around 6 or 7 kilometers. This is in the horizontal direction in the Sahara dust. And cloudiness, there's not a lot of cloudiness, but something is going to be happening. It's going to be happening within 48 hours. I invite you to take a look at the satellite picture. And on the satellite picture, although it is very clear still along the Lesser Antilles, I draw your attention to this area of cloudiness here. Now, this is a combination of a very active tropical wave. I'm mincing my words. A tropical wave. It is moving by. It is one of the rain producers in the Lesser Antilles. Down here, we see the old ITCZ cloud band, the Intertropical Convergence Zone cloud band. It's pointing towards Trinidad, and the movement we expect is in this direction. The islands are clear, just east of the islands, clearing. In 48 hours, we expect this to begin to affect us. This is nice weather today. It seems as if it's going to be nice tomorrow, but on Thursday, the critical day for some activity, more rain. And the 24-hour forecast will have to reflect this. Little or nothing happening to the south. Now, in the 24-hour forecast, we are suggesting that tomorrow is not going to be bad. Tomorrow, we're going to see again the sprinkly type shower. We still have that feature which is going to produce some nocturnal showers. Tonight, therefore, look out for 1 or 2 of them. Then during the daytime, we're going to see the sun in spite of the Sahara dust. 1 or 2 showers later in the day in the western portions of the island. Again, today we had quite a few of them along the northern range. The population is not residing there, and they did not locate them. From the airport, we can see this. in my 3-day forecast, we are recognizing the fact that that tropical wave is going to come. Tomorrow, mixed period, sunshine, some cloudiness, 1 or 2 showers, Sahara dust, and then by Thursday, a little more activity, some showers, the chance of thunder showers on this day, some very gusty winds, and by Friday, some improvement. Only 8 days to go for this month, and we're way back with rainfall, so I still expect before the end of the month 2 serious episodes of rainfall. This has been the local weathercast.
There is a Carib.
It's very pleasant and almost clear outside now. And in fact, in the western horizon, you can actually pick up the crescent moon, which was new on Saturday evening, sinking in the west. Other than that, you still can view, in fact, Jupiter overhead and in the south, just above the horizon. Still a little bit of astronomy. You can pick up the Southern Cross. All this you can see because the skies are reasonably clear. Outside and in the atmosphere in the Caribbean area, we boast there is no tropical storm formation likely, at least within the next 24 to 48 hours. And every now and then we will start saying this. It is very reassuring. No tropical disturbances, no tropical storm development likely. Let us take a look at our large-scale weather map. We're going to prove this to you in addition to show you some things happening around on the weather forecast. In the Lesser Antilles, clear right now. Tomorrow we expect reasonably good weather there, but within 48 hours we expect a tropical wave which is sitting good distance away, about 1,100 kilometers away, to begin to migrate into that region, changing the stable conditions they've been having. We had quite a lot of weather activity from Panama right into Haiti yesterday. Jamaica was on the western edge of that cloudiness. Today they are actually in the clear. Still a lot of cloudiness, quite a bit of muck down south near Costa Rica and Panama. This is not going to change. This is a trough, a low-pressure area that is going to hang around, providing some showers in that area. The system which was creating yesterday's weather, an upper-level cyclone that we forecast was starting to lift, it is doing this, and within 36 hours we should see the last of the weather system in this area. In the meantime, it created a few thunder showers today over Cuba, and that was not forecast because the system is lifting faster than we're thinking, and the instability is creeping from the south. Tomorrow, the chance of the shower, possibly the thunder shower also, because the cloudiness is in the vicinity, the instability is there. Over the Greater Antilles, the cloudiness has spread a little bit toward the east, and this means that Puerto Rico, possibly also the Virgin Islands, could eventually experience this cloudiness and probably some showers. And we take a look at the North America region, we change focus and pick up this area of thunder shower activity here. It is creating quite a bit of very, very heavy thunder showers in the region from the coast, some distance inland, up to 300 kilometers inland. The frontal system which we had yesterday almost completely dissipated. Part of it went off, leaving a high-pressure system dominating in Canada and in the eastern United States. A very weak frontal system is right now between Boston and Montreal into the Canadian Maritimes. This is going to get away tonight. It is going to create the shower, the thunder shower in that region. So it was quite sunny in New York, Toronto, and to some extent this afternoon in Montreal. Down south in Miami itself, conditions are pretty good. The sun was there most of the time. The cloudiness we see here is not very well organized, nor is it thunder shower. Let us take a look at that forecast for the next 24 hours, and we see the high maintaining lovely conditions. Winds are somewhat from the north, and so temperatures should be pleasant. Today it was 30, as high as 30 in New York, in Toronto, Montreal, and in Ottawa. Temperatures are 19 and 20, as high as 32.5 in Miami. We expect the thunder shower activity to remain nearly stationary. Tampa, for instance, should have a couple of very serious thunder showers, but Miami, just with the probability, 40% of that thunder shower. The East Coast is going to be nice. Across the Atlantic, it was also nice over most of the UK. In fact, the temperature we forecast, 22, did not occur. It was only 19. Tomorrow, almost the same type of weather is forecast. You see some sunshine there, a little bit of cloud, and the maximum 19. The minimum tonight, 9 degrees. The nights are very chilly. 9 degrees Celsius is 48 degrees Fahrenheit. And a repeat of the Trinidad and Tobago forecast. We see no great big weather pattern affecting us over the next 24 hours. Tonight we could pick up a couple of nocturnal showers, of course, and in the morning period they should dissipate. During the daytime we can see a few starting up again, particularly in the afternoon, maybe the western district. Other than that, look out for periods of sunshine, and that It's overcast over most of Trinidad and Tobago right now, and today's weather conditions existed right up to St. Vincent, which had a couple of thunder showers. We're surprised at the intensity of the precipitation reported by our Crown Point Met Office in Tobago, and the rainfall would have been very, very heavy in some locations. At the airport itself in Piaco, it was not that heavy. We recorded just around 10 to 11 millimeters of rainfall during the afternoon period. Some more to come. Let us take a look at our satellite picture for the Eastern Caribbean. And we had been forecasting this, by the way, since about Tuesday, when we detected a tropical wave and upper level disturbance migrating toward the island chain. The island chain located here, and St. Vincent is just around in this region. Down south, we have Grenada, which picked up some cloudiness too, and Tobago in that muck right there. Trinidad, and to the southeast and east of us, quite a lot of cloudiness, and this area of white cloudiness really will indicate pretty heavy rainfall. Now, what we can see here is something like a trough. We like to say you should be able to see a trough here, and this represents the enhancement, the trigger supported by upper level wind. And this cloudiness way down south represents the near equatorial cloud band, which we call the IPCZ. In that also there is a tropical wave. So the cloud complex which you see here really represents a systems complex, and that is moving on. On the continent, we see also some showers, especially near the Timeri area. The Georgetown area is quite heavy down there. To the north of us, not much is happening. My forecast for the next 24 hours, therefore, will take cognizance of everything that is happening with this weather system here. So I indicate right now it's quite cloudy, and over the next 24 hours, we expect tonight to become cloudy. And tomorrow, observe, I'm not carrying a lot of sunshine in this. In fact, you see showers, the chance of thunder shower, and across the eastern coast, central, west also, showers, possibly a thunder shower. It's going to be really dirty over the next 24 hours. We expect persisting rain tonight. Tomorrow morning, if the sun does come out, just peaks a little bit, we can have a very heavy, gusty thunder shower. I anticipate that accumulations of rainfall over the next 24 hours from this system could last well into tomorrow, and will produce just about 1 inch of rain. This is around 25 millimeters. It does good for the statistics. I hope it doesn't do too bad for the drivers on the road. Over the next 3 days, my 3-day forecast indicates that tomorrow, look out for the showers and thunder showers, cloudy conditions. Saturday, mixed conditions. By Sunday, conditions can turn a bit for the worse, because another tropical wave right now located just around 1,400 kilometers would be moving by. This has been the local weathercast.
There is nothing like the taste of Caribbear. Brewed to that tells you you're enjoying your very own. Carib is truly beer at its best. A bear is a Carib.
It's a bit wet here and there across the countryside, but right now there is a lull. I just was able to see some stars and the crescent moon, and this is a good sign. But if this happens tomorrow, that is, if we get a clearing tomorrow, there is a good chance also that we can get some damaging winds resulting from a thunder shower, which I'm forecasting. Let us take a look at our large-scale weather satellite picture and pick up the weather in the Eastern Caribbean area. Well, we had shown much earlier that the IPCZ, the cloud band near the equator, is moving northward, being invited there by an upper-level system. This also interacting with a tropical wave is producing quite a bit of cloudiness, and we expect some really bad weather over the next 24 hours. Most of the Lesser Antilles north of St. Vincent should be out of it at least tonight. Tomorrow, as the system begins to move into the Lesser Antilles area, some showers should spread there, possibly also the thunder shower from the leewards right down. We take up another area of thunder showers, and this is right now over Hispaniola. And this is stimulated by an upper-level system. The winds are favorable there, generating this cloudiness, and it's stationary, so it's going to have to dissipate in that region. Showers and thunder showers forecast there. Since about Tuesday, the southwestern part of the Caribbean the Caribbean Sea, that is, have been having quite a lot of activity. Pressures are extremely low in this portion of the Caribbean, right into the Bahamas area. And for quite a while now, cloudiness would have been residing here. Tropical waves, call them what you will, upper-level systems. And this is forecast to remain quasi-stationary over the next 36 to 48 hours, producing rainfall in a band from the north, the Bahamas, right down to Costa Rica and Panama in the south. It leaves the Gulf of Mexico somewhat clear, but this area in the Bahamas and into the Florida Peninsula today produced some thunder showers in that area, and Miami itself, just around 2 or 3 o'clock, would have had some thunder showers. It belongs to a frontal band and an upper-level system. They're interacting there. Let us change the focus and take a look at the other satellite picture, and here we take a better look at it. You can see the big white there with nice clear edges representing thunder showers that would have been sitting down. Off or over the Gulf Stream, there is another area of thunder showers, but this is not of any interest to the people over the land. just in the area from Brownsville right up into the apex in Kentucky and down into South Carolina, there is an unstable region. Scattered rain, scattered thunder showers. Just to the north also, just right now in the area near Iowa and into Wisconsin, severe thunder showers, the possibility, just a small possibility of the isolated tornado in this region. This is the frontal system, and this leaves the coast quite clear. It was sunny today, most of the areas, 26, 27 in Toronto and Montreal, and as high as 30 in New York. Tomorrow, the high-pressure system moves by. Let us take a look at that 24-hour forecast. The high pressure moves by, winds will come from the south and southeast, and this will warm up the coast. The frontal system is moving by, not expected to reach Toronto, which is located just about there in 24 hours. So Toronto tomorrow night can see the isolated thunder shower, but during the day it should continue sunny. And that unstable area that we saw here, the summertime thunderstorm, is forecast to persist right into the Florida Peninsula. And tomorrow, the temperature for New York, for instance, could be about 31 or 32, maybe hotter than Trinidad. Across the Atlantic, in London, well, it was good Wimbledon weather, and tomorrow is forecast to be also good. The maximum today was 21 and tomorrow 21. And look at that sunshine. It should really be brilliant. The cloudiness will break up. There is a little bit of cloudiness right now. And in the Caribbean, the Eastern Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago particularly, a review of our forecast. I was suggesting that we don't see sun anywhere on this, and it's very likely that if the sun does peep, it could create a worse situation. We expect some showers to persist. Tonight we'll have some rainy periods. Tomorrow some showers. The chance of the thunder shower. If those thunder clouds get too high, it can be very gusty, and the wind could approach damaging strength. Damaging strength will be just barely tropical storm strength winds. This is a likelihood, just about 20% it will happen, and if it does happen, well, our best chance to have gotten some good rain, some significant rain, has been shut down. This is the weather system, which was expected to produce a little more rainfall today, did not. And therein lies the story. In fact, last night we did forecast that there were going to be some thunder showers and a chance of some very strong gusty winds. This did occur in central and southern Trinidad. We have no reports of damage. But then during the day, where were those showers? Well, I'll tell you what has happened. And this, of course, is what contributed to the significant deficit in rainfall for this month. If we're going to be making up anything near average rainfall for June, we have to have as much rainfall for the next few days as we have had so far for all of the month. About 130 or 40 millimeters still required. Now, this is the story. Winds are very, very strong, too strong for our rainy season to produce rainfall. And we have Sahara dust out there. That tells a totally different story. Drought in the Sahel, severe drought for the second continuing year. And the strong winds today reach up to 42 knots at 8,000 feet, just about 80 kilometers per hour. This is nearly unheard of. Let us take a look at our satellite picture for the Eastern Caribbean. And yesterday I did say that the upper level trough was inviting the ITCZ to migrate northwards. You know the ITCZ fell for that. It came northwards, and then the upper level trough went further north, not recognizing the ITCZ. So it is hung just south of us. This is another part of the story. So as it is right now, here is Trinidad, the upper level trough, the upper level system, the upper level stimulation, or trigger if you want to call it, has moved to the north, spreading some cloudiness to most of the Lesser Antilles. And the ITCZ lagging behind, no forcing right now to bring it up north. We are in the split between these two systems. And on the continent, we see some showers and thunder showers. So what is my forecast? Now, this is a difficult one to call. It is a weekend and a half to call it. My 24-hour forecast then will suggest that over the next 24 hours, we could begin to see the sunshine tomorrow. But tonight, with the strong wind still existing, look out for some sprinkles, not heavy precipitation, sprinkles. And tomorrow during the day, the sprinkles will spread here and there during the daytime around the island. But the Sahara dust is very thick, visibility just about 5 kilometers. If it drops lower than that, the people at the airport will close the airport for small flying aircraft. This is visual flight rules. This has been the local weathercast.
Is a Carib.
Still very breezy outside, and there is also a canopy of ice cloud. This is cirrus cloud. During the early part of the afternoon, some people had indicated to the airports at the Met Service by calling on the telephone that they were seeing a halo around the sun. This is natural whenever we have that cirrostratus type cloud. Anyhow, it's breaking up. That moon is going to be in its first quarter tomorrow, just about 6:43 p.m. Of course, the full moon coming up next We'll be talking about that next week. It's an important moon also. Let us take a look at our large-scale satellite picture for the region and pick up weather conditions in the Eastern Caribbean, where things are very interesting, and it seems as if two weather systems vexing with each other, because we indicated that the upper level trough, which had invited the ITCZ northward, actually moving away now as the ITCZ came by. The ITCZ had to return a little bit to the south, leaving Trinidad with a relatively good day, very strong wind still. We expect that the Lesser Antilles will begin to see some showers due to that upper level system. The showers will be here and there, mainly the trade wind type. It wouldn't be a thunder shower type activity. In the mainland nearby, Caracas was partly cloudy today. They saw a little bit of drizzle in the town itself, but at the airport, not much happened. It's very likely that most of these showers and thunder showers in the hinterland will begin to drift northwards over the next 24 hours. In the Central Caribbean area, there is quite a bit of cloudiness, and what's new, that has been the picture for quite a while. Most of this cloudiness will show the overland areas tomorrow, just the odd shower, and possibly the thunder shower will sprout up with the daytime heating. Jamaica has been on the edge of another significant area of cloudiness. This significant area of cloudiness here, a tropical wave, and remember that systems going into the Western Caribbean Sea around this time of the year could eventually be seedlings for tropical rotating tropical rotating storms. And the one that created Arlene, for instance, will have come by into the Bay of Campeche from just about here. Anyhow, this is keeping safely into Central America, leaving most of the Greater Antilles in western portions reasonably clear. Yesterday's upper level system dominating the Bahamas area continues to be stationary and doing the same dirty work it did yesterday. Several showers and thunder showers in this region, so too in Miami, Florida. That frontal system to the north is not doing much to this area. It is an upper level system. Let us change our focus, take a look at the other satellite picture, and pick up the Florida Peninsula with quite a bit of white around it, and this means that they will be forecasting the chance of the shower and thunder shower over the next 24 to 48 hours. And another very important area of cloudiness in Oklahoma is expected to really water down the place in this area. Great amount of instability in the southern portions of this cloud area, and the upper portions would represent a frontal system. Another frontal system very weak coming by. So what happened to the first frontal system today? It created some cloudiness in Toronto. Not much precipitation there. Montreal has been out of it, and it was sunny in New York, in Baltimore, Boston, and Philadelphia. Well, over the next 24 hours, this area of high pressure giving those good conditions will move by. Let us take a look at our forecast. And in our forecast, we see the front itself moving towards the coast. Now, that means that New York is going to come down tomorrow afternoon, late in the afternoon period, into the night with some showers and thunder showers. It also means that Toronto will improve during tomorrow as the front goes by. But the second front behind will produce some thunder showers tomorrow night in Toronto. This leaves Montreal under the influence of the first front, which is going by, and they will be waiting after clearing tomorrow afternoon for the second front, which is expected to reach them on Sunday. Down south, very little change. The showers and thunder showers still forecast. The temperature in New York, we had forecast 31, 32. Boy, were we right. 31 degrees Celsius in humid conditions. 31 also for Washington. Across the Atlantic in London, well, conditions were really nice. It was a pleasant change for people in England. The UK generally had been so much cloudy. Well, some sunshine is forecast over the next 24 hours. Sunshine as they had today. The maximum was today 21, and tomorrow is forecast to be 22. In the Eastern Caribbean, early on, we missed the 3-day forecast. But basically, I was indicating that it was difficult to forecast for the weekend. And, you know, we're not copping out. We're going to say, yes, it's difficult. The conditions should be mixed for at least 3 days. And I'll tell you, well, tomorrow, tonight, look out for some sprinkles. We have some strong winds in the low levels, which will produce sprinkly-type precipitation for most of the night, not all continuous. Here and there, we're going to be finding these sprinkles, not the wetting type. And during the daytime, we will begin to see the sunshine, which was almost absent today. We did forecast that last night. The sprinkles will be here and there across most of the island. A tropical wave could change conditions on Sunday. If it does that, look out for an increase in precipitation. And
the caps work fast, and they're strong.
You want something strong? Gel caps. Tylenol gel caps.
Extra strength Tylenol gel caps. It's not a capsule. It's better.
Well, the skies opened up today, in fact, just before noon and into the afternoon in northern areas particularly. There were some very heavy thunder showers. Fortunately, they were brisk moving, and accumulations, rainfall accumulations, take for instance at the airport, just around 30 millimeters, at Centeno, 38 millimeters. In fact, down in Woodbrook area near the stadium, our automatic weather station recorded as high as 26 millimeters. And this is heavy rainfall. It does good for the statistics. Unfortunately, as I said, they were passing briskly, didn't reside in any one location and pour down twice that amount of water. We still had, during the weekend, those very strong winds I was talking about on Friday, and if those winds had continued into today, we would have had some damaging winds. So damage might have been reported. Fortunately, those winds weakened yesterday, and the IPCZ came today. I invite you to take a look at this satellite picture, a most impressive bit of IPCZ cloud weather. And look at this, from here in the mainland of South America into Trinidad, Tobago, just south of Barbados, and then east and southeast of us. There is a little bend around here, and this curve really represents a tropical wave forcing the IPCZ to come by. It seems as if there was some message sent somewhere that we're having a deficit of rainfall in June, and let's make it up. Well, making up it's going to do. Let us take a look down south. Down south there is clearing, and this cloud band is moving like that. As it moves like that, most of this cloudiness will drift over Trinidad and Tobago, maybe as far north as Grenada. Another weather system stimulating some cloudiness in the northern portions of the Lesser Antilles and the nearby Caribbean Sea. So our interest is this over the next 24 hours. I can tell you this, that most of the white here is not rain-producing cloud, it is high cloud, very high up, ice cloud. So my forecast for the next 24 hours recognizes this, recognizes also the possibility that we're going to be having that thunder shower, the thunder shower favoring northern portions because the IPCZ cloud band is a bit far north. Down south, we can still have the showers here and there. And there is a good hope, in fact, there is a wish maybe also that the sun will peep out. The devil and his wife fighting for a piece of bone, they say. Well, the sun and the rain, if we do have that sunshine, the thunder shower and gusty winds forecast, it seems as if it's going to be unsettled for at least the next 3 days. So the 3-day forecast recognizes tomorrow as a day with showers, the possibility of the thunder shower. A small change with some little more sunshine on Wednesday, we call it mixed, and by Thursday another system is expected to come by, and this could stimulate a little more rainfall. Of course, that contribution for Thursday will be in July. This has been the local weathercast.
Best. A bear is a Carib.
It's quite cloudy outside over most of Trinidad and Tobago and possibly also by now Grenada. The IPCZ cloud band is on us. Let us take a look at our large-scale satellite picture, and we start first in the Eastern Caribbean on that satellite picture because the IPCZ came in this afternoon in most areas of Western Trinidad. I'm not seeing my satellite picture. There it is now. And as it came in most areas of Western Trinidad, it poured down tremendously. Now, this area of cloudiness here has a tendency, as it were, over the past 6 hours to drift somewhat towards the north, and this will spread rain and showers at least south of St. Vincent into Trinidad and Tobago, of course. Down south, we expect the Guyanas to remain rather quiet, just the isolated shower, thunder shower during the day, because the major rain band is somewhat to the north. Over the Greater Antilles, we see little or no very organized cloudiness. There's a thin, very tenuous line that we can pick up here. Some thunder showers fired up during the day, and this will dissipate tonight, repeat again tomorrow. Cuba is out in the clear, quite a bit of cloudiness in the southern Caribbean Sea and into Central America. Let us take a look at our other satellite picture for North America, and we see just over the Bahamas coming back into northern Florida, reaching as far as Mississippi State, some showers and thunder showers. This has been there for the longest while, about 5 days now. And then another area of cloudiness along the Mississippi River, in the northern portions also some very severe thunderstorm, and then back into the Ohio Valley. All these thunderstorms here belong to a frontal band, and that frontal band is drifting very, very slowly to the south. In fact, the front is nearly quasi-stationary. This leaves a very clear area here, a high pressure and high temperatures. Today, Washington, D.C., 34.5 degrees Celsius. It was 33 in New York, only 22 in Toronto and Montreal. Let us take a look at the 24-hour forecast for that area. In the 24-hour forecast, the front moves by very, very slowly. We can see it located here parallel to the latitude, approaching Kentucky. As it is doing that, it is dragging the thunderstorms down south. There is a chance of the thunder shower in Montreal, which had some rain today. And then during the daytime, just around Philadelphia, Washington, Baltimore, and Boston, the possibility of the shower and also the thunder shower. Down south, very little change. We have the spotted cloudiness still around here, and into the peninsula, the chance of the thunder shower. Winds are very weak and the moisture level very high. Across the Atlantic, London, pretty good weather, and I keep saying the weather is running a racket there. Good sunshine, because Wimbledon is on, it seems to be showing off. 22 today, 25 tomorrow, in partly sunny skies. We see a little sun behind the cloud. It shouldn't precipitate at all. For Trinidad and Tobago, however, we're going to get some rain. Right now, there might be some lingering rain showers around the place. And tomorrow, we have sunshine on this chart because that cloudiness is so impressive. It's going to hang around. It's going to give us some showers here and there. Even when the sun comes out, it wouldn't last very long. There is a possibility of a thunder shower. If that thunder shower comes by, most likely in northern Trinidad, there is a chance of gusty winds. This has been the...
So they're strong and easy to swallow.
They made Tylenol even better. Gel caps work fast, and they're strong.
You want something strong? Gel caps. Tylenol gel caps.
Extra strength Tylenol gel caps. It's not a capsule. It's better.
Well, after some showers after midnight last night, in fact, in some areas, rainfall up to 6 or 10 millimeters, 6 millimeters at the airport, and after that tapered off by mid-morning, the skies were clear, but the horizons are very, very dusty. Saharan aerosol, again, the old story. Anyhow, it was a generally nice day, breezy day, and temperatures got up to only 31 degrees Celsius. Now, June had a significant rainfall deficit. We keep saying this. The deficit was just around 25%, and this represents an absolute amount of rainfall of just 72 millimeters. We're going to see how July is going to make out, because July should produce a total of just over 250 millimeters. So far for the month, not much. Look at this satellite picture here. What's in store for us? It doesn't seem like a lot is in store for us, because on and immediately east of us, there is no threat of any organized cloudiness, nor significant rainfall. In the western areas, there's quite a lot of cloudiness. So this is not going to be moving towards us. The only thing that gives us some hope of any type of rainfall is this curve here, which represents an upper level system. It's too far away, not moving towards us, but we're going to be having a look at this over the next 24 hours. In the meantime, with little or nothing happening outside there, we know that high pressures are dominating. Down in the south, the ITCZ is disorganized. This bit of tropical wave here is too far away to come by in the next 24 hours. So my first forecast, this is the forecast for the next 24 hours. That is the forecast for tonight and tomorrow. Let's take a look at that. Right outside, remember, it's dusty and hazy. Skies are pretty clear. And tomorrow, look at this. Just a chance of a shower favoring northern range areas. In the early morning, if there is going to be a shower, maybe at 20 or 30%, it's going to be in the eastern areas. Winds are just about moderate. During the afternoon, there could be one, I'm saying probability of one in western areas. Other than that, it's going to be a mixture of some clouds and sunshine and reasonably nice weather. But still nothing organized coming by and nothing threatening. Tomorrow into Saturday, we suggest that conditions could be mixed. The tropical wave we located some distance east is probably going to begin to feel us on that day. And by Sunday, in the 3-day forecast, we expect some showers to develop. This is the tropical wave might be on us. If it does meet that upper level system which I was talking about there near Venezuela, chances are we can have a blow up that is going to produce a very wet day. This has been the local weathercast.
There is nothing like the taste of Caribbear. Brewed to...
Tylenol gel caps. It's not a capsule. It's better.
It's very stable outside right now, and temperature is just around 27 degrees Celsius, somewhat normal for this time. Of course, we said earlier that there was a turbid horizon with a lot of Saharan aerosol. Let's take a look at our large-scale weather map, and on that weather satellite picture, we pick it in Lesser Antilles. What we showed earlier was to the east and southeast of the Lesser Antilles generally. There was no organized cloudiness, no real tropical wave to affect them in the next 24 hours. In the northern portions, there is a lot of cloud here, but most of this cloudiness is upper level cloud again, and there are few showers, but the showers are mainly over the water to the north of the island chain. Another area of cloudiness that might be important is pushing right now from the South American continent, just between Caracas and Curacao. And that cloudiness again is upper level, a plume of moisture in the high levels pushing towards the Caribbean Sea. It represents an upper level system, and this could create near Curacao and Caracas a shower, possibly also a thunder shower. We have reports just near Georgetown of 1 or 2 showers, especially in the afternoon period after 1 p.m. There was also a thunder shower in the vicinity. This could repeat again tomorrow. Most of the Lesser Antilles, therefore, looking for sunny weather tomorrow, just the odd tropical shower. And over the Greater Antilles, there has been a big change. We have no organized cloudiness generally. Again, here is a thunder shower just over Guantanamo, and that was a very isolated one. This will be the pattern again for the next 24 hours. Good tonight, tomorrow during the daytime. Look at Jamaica also. Very, very clear. The possibility of a local afternoon shower there. We change our forecast as we get to the Bahamas and North America. The other satellite picture will show this area here to be very, very unstable. Now, this area has been unstable for quite a long while. It's very strange. Right around here, there is a high-pressure area, but the moisture in the southeast is so much that thunder showers keep popping up, and they are occurring during the evening, during the night, during the day, during the morning. So today, at 2 p.m., a thunder shower in Miami. Last report we just had again, a thunder shower in Fort Lauderdale, and that is going to be forecast to that region. Outside and just north and northeast of the Bahamas, quite a lot of cloudiness, the tail of a frontal system. We have a very, very important system oriented just immediately south of the Great Lakes, south of the main part, in fact, is south of Toronto, and Montreal is out of it. This is the frontal system. Let us take a look at that forecast for the next 24 hours. The frontal system, it looks a bit messy, a little bit of warm front, a low pressure area, and then there is a cool, a slight drift is forecast down south. But this is going to leave some showers and thunder showers in the Philadelphia area, right back towards Toronto. There is a chance that south of Boston will come down to the shower, thunder shower, but not Montreal, and Toronto will clear during the daytime. Down south, the area of low pressure still dominating just over the Gulf Stream. There's a chance of showers and thunder showers over the peninsula. Miami today reached 32 degrees Celsius. It was 27 in Montreal, 23 only in Toronto, and in New York, 28. Across the Atlantic, it was in the middle 20s. In London, it was reasonably nice weather. And with the big sporting event going on, Wimbledon, tomorrow we can see some sunshine again, peeping through that cloudiness. It could be dollar time. 23 is the forecast maximum. When they reach 25 and 27 degrees in London and in England, generally, they think of heat wave in Trinidad over the next 24 hours. Our local forecast. Now, what we expect tonight is reasonably nice, clear skies. And tomorrow, we can have just a chance of the shower. But mainly, it's going to be a fair pattern. We're not changing our view. It's going to be fair. It's going to be quite sunny. The shower wouldn't spoil things. Common entrance results are out. So tomorrow, maybe a lot of those kids will be going to the malls, going here.
Carib is truly bear at its best. A bear is a Carib.
Well, in case you like to collect trivia, here's a little fact for you. During this coming weekend, on Sunday at 5 p.m. Trinidad time, 2100 hours Universal time, the sun will be furthest from the Earth. Or should we say, the Earth will be furthest from the sun in its orbit. And that distance is 152,091,000 kilometers. A big distance. This is just about 5 million kilometers further away than it was just 6 months ago. Yes, the sun is further away in summer. Imagine that it were closer in. Really, it actually should be boiling here if that were to happen. Anyhow, we have the large-scale weather satellite picture behind us, and we start in the Lesser Antilles. There is quite a lot of cloudiness very close to the Lesser Antillean chain, but we're not too bothered about that because most of this cloudiness is upper-level cloudiness. The important thing about this cloudiness, it represents an upper-level system that is reasonably stationary over the past 12 hours. The ITCC is coming by, and there is going to be a blow-up maybe within 24 to 36 hours. So this could cause some more cloudiness in the Lesser Antilles and precipitation tomorrow. Trinidad and Tobago, we expect a slight change. And then down in the continent, this is normal. We have overland cloudiness and the isolated thunder shower. This is forecast to persist. Again, a bit of cloudiness over Caracas, leaving Curacao clear. Caracas could experience some drizzle. Over the Greater Antilles, again, a change. Not much has happened. Remember, quite a lot has been happening there. Jamaica is almost in the clear. There was a thunder shower just immediately south of them. The upper-level system that is in this general area will continue to allow, during the daytime, the odd thunder shower to appear here. We can see some thunder showers appearing right now over Puerto Rico. This is forecast to persist. In the northern area, we have quite a bit of cloudiness in the Gulf of Mexico, pushing right into Key West and northwards to Tampa and Orlando. This will represent thunder showers. The system that is here has been here for quite a while, and this might continue to affect the region. Further north, we see a break, and this is a high-pressure area, quite steamy in this region, and still further north, again, a quasi-stationary front with the warm front right here and a quasi-stationary front right here. What this did today, for instance, is to bring temperatures in Toronto and Montreal Montreal 28, Toronto only 22, and it was cloudy. There were 1 or 2 showers around. There was a spot of rain, for instance, in New York. The temperature in New York just about 22, 23 degrees Celsius. Let us look at the 24-hour forecast for North America. In the 24-hour forecast for North America, we hardly see much movement in that frontal system. The warm front just goes a little bit towards Boston. What this will do, around the high, the flow is going to bring some very high temperatures and a lot of humidity, creating steamy conditions around the middle parts of the United States. This is in the Mississippi Valley right into Tennessee and pushing out into the Georgia. But this frontal system here is going to have southerly air. The air moving towards the north is also going to create some high temperatures, yes, but high humidities, and this will lead to some mist and a chance of fog, a little bit of rain. So it's going to be a mess up in this area, Toronto, Montreal, and New York, Boston, Washington, Philadelphia. Temperatures not too very high, but high steam conditions across the Atlantic. Well, tomorrow is the big day, Wimbledon. And today we had nice conditions. The temperature got up to 25. Tomorrow it's forecast to be 23. But there is going to be a change. There's a lot more cloud, and this rain which we're seeing in the north here is expected to drift down. If it drifts down, there's a 20 to 30% chance that it can create drizzle in London itself, so it might just be a little bit muggy. For Trinidad and Tobago, a small change is coming by, and we have a few more showers appearing on our map. This indicates that tonight we can have some nocturnal showers, and tomorrow... There is no doubt about it that the rainy season so far, the wet season, has been extremely benign. Those umbrellas have really not been getting all the practice, nor the raincoats, but who's complaining? Northern range and the bushfires are gone, and there is a good sign of verdancy around the countryside. So we're not complaining, we've been getting some rain. Not all the rain we've been expecting, but July is the rainiest month in Trinidad. And so we still have, 25 days to go again, and this means that we had better look out, because if we have not had it yet, it's still lurking. It's going to come. Let us take a look at the satellite picture. Today was a very nice day. In fact, on the satellite picture, there's not much to see just near Trinidad, so the showers we had and the isolated thunder shower in northwestern peninsula, those were pretty local. They were caused by local unstable conditions. And just immediately to the east of us is clear, so tonight should be pretty good, but lurking some distance, about 550 kilometers away to the east and southeast right now, is a rain area. It is part of the ITCZ cloud band. It's breaking away, and it is headed towards us. This is going to take as much as 15 to 18 hours before it begins to affect us. In the Lesser Antilles, you see some spotted cloudiness, and this represents during the daytime 1 or 2 showers. There were isolated thunder showers in that. A very important feature. Nearby, the mainland is almost clear, the isolated thunder shower popping up. And this is a little bit unusual. It means that conditions will change here very rapidly after a couple of days of heating. So my forecast for the next 24 hours with this friendly rainy season so far indicates it's going to continue to be friendly. The 24-hour forecast suggests mixed conditions. A shower here, a shower there during the daytime, because tonight is going to be pretty good. We don't have organized cloudiness nor strong winds to change the pattern of fair weather which we have outside right now. We're going to see some sunshine. Tobago, there is a chance of a shower, but in Trinidad, there is also a small chance of a thunder shower. Now, that cloudiness is going to reach towards the afternoon period tomorrow if it continues advecting at the rate it is coming. And so we might see more cloudiness in the evening, evening period, than in the morning period. My 3-day forecast suggests that tomorrow is going to be mixed. That cloudiness which you just saw could occupy our attention for at least 2 days. So by Thursday, we continue having mixed conditions. The sun is going to peep. We don't see severe weather. We don't see widespread rainfall, certainly. And Friday, a return to fair. By Saturday, in the extreme long-term outlook, a tropical wave is due to pass by. This has been the local weathercast.
There is nothing like the taste of carrot.
Atlantic. That's reassuring. In fact, no tropical storm development is expected for at least the next 48 hours. Now and then, we're going to be repeating this. Let us take a look at our large-scale satellite picture and pick up weather conditions in the Lesser Antilles area. Well, today they had a couple of isolated showers and thunder showers. You can see the white spots here, and this was run-of-the-mill type of weather for them. There is an upper-level disturbance in this region. It's going to maintain its position for the next 24 hours, and the chances are there will be a repeat of those conditions that they had today. For Trinidad and Tobago, of course, we will be looking at that little area of cloudiness some distance out to the edge of our weather map there. And for the Greater Antilles, look at it. It's rather clear. Not much has been happening, and only the isolated shower over the land or the possibly thunder shower during the afternoon is forecast. We look at the southern portions of the Caribbean Sea. It's very, very active. And way, way out to the right side of our chart, there is a nasty area of weather there in the Pacific. This is in the Pacific, not the Atlantic. It's just immediately south of Manzanillo, Acapulco area, and that is Tropical Storm Calvin, forecast to become hurricane. Now that system is going to move well away and not bother anybody over the land. Shipping is going to be bothered. And in the United States, we take a look at this picture. Now this picture right around here locates quite a lot of showers and thunder showers. And in the areas of Iowa, Illinois, even Wisconsin, it's been really, really bad over the past day or two. And this system is very slow moving. It's a frontal system which we can pick up from the Canadian area right down into the central portion of the Mississippi, the upper portion of the Mississippi, and central in flood. Well, this leaves the east coast rather clear. One or two showers, thunder showers, you can see them here spotted with a low pressure area developing and remaining nearby stationary in the peninsula right up into Georgia and South Carolina. Let us take a look at that 24-hour forecast. As I suggested, the system which is creating all those thunder showers very slow moving, and it's not forecast to do much except a slight drift to the south. In the meantime, the frontal system is going to challenge Toronto and Montreal today. This is later this evening and tomorrow. Get a look at this. Our maximum temperature here today was 33 degrees Celsius at Piaco. In Montreal, it was also 33. In Washington, Baltimore, it was broiling at 35. This is 95 degrees Fahrenheit. And conditions will continue to be like that in most of the southeastern United States and in the flanks also. Temperatures in the 90s Fahrenheit forecast here. Well, showers or thunder showers along the front. New York itself will be still away from it. Boston, Baltimore, Philadelphia, away from these conditions, but it's going to really get hot tomorrow night maybe. Across the Atlantic, we expect tomorrow sunny conditions in the UK. In fact, today, in London, it was 23 degrees Celsius, and tomorrow sunny conditions are forecast. The forecast for Trinidad and Tobago over the next 24 hours, we did indicate that there was going to be a slight change tonight. We're going to have fair conditions tonight, sunny in the morning, but during the daytime it will become mixed with a few showers, maybe even the thunder shower. By Thursday, however, in the longer term, we anticipate that a tropical wave is going to bring the ITCZ by. So this is how it's going to be like tomorrow. One or two showers here and there, possibly that thunder shower. Winds are not expected to be gusty. We don't expect widespread rainfall over the next 24 hours. There's a little chance that this could happen on Thursday. This has been the International Weathercast.
Products that carry the time